Doctor.
What song is that?
I forget it, but
What?
it's
Yeah, I
bad
know it, but I don't know
case
the
of
name.
loving you.
Hell yeah.
No idea.
We
No idea.
have a bad case of loving you. Welcome everybody to another episode
God.
of
Welcome.
and
We're nerds.
the podcast.
What's up, everybody? We're nerds. I'm Jesse, aka Jester954, here with everybody's favorite uncle, Aaron Jean-Claude Van Damme Mueller.
And I am Ia with everyone's favorite. Oh yeah, James.
Hell yeah, dude. Now that's an intro I can get behind.
Dude, that video I sent you guys, I just random TikTok on IG. I don't have TikTok, but I let Instagram filter me some shit.
Right.
And there's one, this guy's just looking down at his phone at like a booth, and someone shoots like mayonnaise at him and goes, "Oh." It got me good. It got me good.
And then you
So-
sent it to me because we make sounds.
Yeah. Uh.
So yeah, we're nerds. We talk about nerd stuff.
I'm a silent lover. I've noticed. I'm very quiet. I don't make any noise. I don't moan. I don't do anything. I'm just dead-eyed. Just dead
That's my
face.
comment. You just stare in the face the whole time.
I just like my eyes roll white, and I'm just like,
Oh, Father.
"Oh, Father."
You
Well,
start getting on all fours and barking like a dog.
oh yeah. Speaking of the All Father, we will be reviewing
Staring at your father's eyes.
the
No.
Northman. No, I stare into my father's eyes and I hear, "Look into my father's eyes, my father's eyes."
For anyone that hasn't seen it, that is a the Northman reference. there
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's man, that movie, whew, love it. Live, laugh, love it, dude. I'm watching the volume go down on the input on fucking Audacity, and I'm like losing my mind. I don't understand. My volume is so low right now. Literally watching my volume just be like a tiny flat line.
It's just disappearing.
Yes, it's like it's going down. I don't know what's happening.
Is there a button stuck on the computer? or something?
Not that I can see. No.
Is
Huh.
our volume staying normally where it is?
No, it's just fluctuating up and down. It's
Oh my god.
So strange.
It's,
Do you want to pause it and
yeah.
listen to it real quick and see what it's doing?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, we're back, and I'm checking the mic. All right, seems like we're all right. Oh no, it just did it. It just fucking did. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. I listened to it and it sounded okay, but I'm very low at certain points. You guys are all right, levels wise.
Oh.
So.
Alrighty.
No one
Well,
wants to hear
also-
me, anyways. You know, piece of trash.
You're trash.
You fucking
Well, we're
trash.
nerds. It's another week. I think this week you two guys are going to be reviewing the Northman.
Yes.
I skipped Moon Knight because I think I'm just out of it. So you could talk about Moon Knight, and then I played a bunch of video games. I don't know what else you guys have done. There's also some news, some news stuff in the news docket. But yeah, it's another fucking week of nerd stuff.
Yeah, we out here.
Should we start our weeks?
Let's do it.
It's been
1 week.
I'll go first because mine's very brief. Mine is very brief. I started rewatching Goblin Slayer because I kept talking about it.
Fuck yeah.
And it's awesome, and I love it. I'm on like episode 6 or 7. I'm like watching one every couple days or whatever. And I platinumed Elden Ring. I did finish it up.
Hell yeah, dude.
PC platinumed it.
Yeah, I 100%ed it on Steam.
Is that
Fuck
a
yeah.
big difference?
Well, PlayStation has the platinum thing. Like Xbox, that still doesn't have a name yet for theirs. It's just getting all the achievements. PlayStation calls it a platinum.
Oh.
But no, there's no difference.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like different achievements per platform or something that were required.
No, they're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
GG's.
it was a bitch. By the end, I really hated the game, even though I love it.
2.5.
It's When we first started, I was like, this might be the best game ever made. It is not the best game ever made. It's up there, but it's not the best game ever made.
It's what? Yeah, it's one of it's in the way that the Souls games are among the best games ever. It's another Souls game. So it's one of the it's very, very, very good. Like
I have a question.
Mhm.
What is everybody's scores now that we're like a little further out from it? Yeah. I think that's a good question.
Yeah, it's like
8.5, 9, 8.5.
Yeah, it's
9.
an 8 or a 9 for me. It's somewhere in there. It depends on the boss I'm fighting or whatever, and whatever's going on. But I just the first half of that game, probably the first 3/4 of it are like a 10, you know.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like after Lane Dell, it just gets horrible. Like
What was that? What's Lane Dell
the
again?
capital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just after you do that, and then you get to like I like the fire giant fight quite a bit. Even going back to it, I've done it 3 times solo, and I've loved it every time. Well, I mean solo with my little mimic tier.
That counts.
Is it just me, or does the whole snow area kind of seem like an afterthought?
It's 100% an afterthought. There's
Okay.
like nothing to it.
I'll be honest, I'm probably down to like a 7.5 now.
Yeah. And it's funny because you and I were like day one. We're like we're literally living in the time when the greatest game
Right.
ever came out. And yeah, I mean, I still love it. I love all the From games individually, even
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2. It's just it has a lot more glaring flaws, I think.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how the DLC turns out with it, and if they actively continue to do like any type of like additions to the current world when doing those DLCs, or if it's just going to be separate stuff. Because sometimes things get added to like your regular world, you know what I mean? In other games. So I'm interested to see how that'll turn out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so I still love it, and it's still going to probably be game of the year. I mean, I don't know what comes out that beats this. Though Xenoblade 3 comes out early, and that might be a contender just because I love RPGs, but
What, for game of the year?
Yeah.
Ragnarok, probably.
Maybe. But yeah, I do think you see how like barren the end is. It's like they lose that lovingly crafted world, you know, like I think Liurnia, that beginning area is just so good. Like that first continent that you're on basically, you know. And
it feels like the capital, and it is in a way, but it feels like the capital is like where the game's supposed to end, like the first time.
Yeah. Like if I would have
and
fought
then you do
Godfrey,
the snow stuff for almost like you really almost don't have to do anything but go straight to that giant, and that's it.
My last playthrough didn't do anything but kill the giant and come back.
Right.
Kill the giant, and then you have to go through Haligtree or whatever, not Haligtree.
Oh God.
Crumbling Farama Zula, and do Malekith's stupid ass. Hate that fight. Actually,
but even that I feel like had a lot of content for how small it was.
Yeah, it's definitely like that's more handcrafted. That's definitely like a dungeon where the mountaintop of the giants really is just a waste. Like nothing is up there. You go around,
and even
there's
that fight had like not as good of a like feel as the other ones to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I'm with you though. It should have had the opening cinematic where like the giant's doing something and then he stands up and it's like, okay, well,
yeah, he's kind of just there and you run up to him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then his eye opens up and it's like seems like it's important, and then there's really no lore there. Like I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really beats that first 10 hours pretty much. Like I've been thinking about it. I've been having like Elden withdrawals because I haven't played it since I beat it. So it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I've played it. So I was thinking about playing it again because I want to like play it in the beginning before you're super strong and you can do a million things, and it's actually fun to fight stuff. Because by the end of it, some of those areas that are pretty much just kind of weird monster lands, it just gets to be a bit much. Like I just look forward to doing Liurnia and the Weeping Peninsula and stuff like that. I don't look forward to doing.
Well, I feel like there's a spike of difficulty where enemies are 2 times as strong all of a sudden. Right after the capital, you get to Snow World and enemies take not even it's crumbling from Missoula, everything takes crazy amounts of damage. And actually even in Landell, like the Landell Knights, they're fucking crazy. Like right before this I was absolutely smashing everything. Like just mollywopping.
Wait, which knights? The knights before the knights in Crumbling from Missoula with that are wearing the scarves are the hardest enemies like in the game.
Them, but I'm talking about the Landell Knights in the capital, just the regular gold knights that shoot lightning and shit. They're not super
I
hard.
fucked those guys up.
They're not super hard. They're beefy. Like they take a lot to kill. You're randomly killing things. You're taking like 2 to 3 hits to 6 hits for them. You know. Doesn't make
for them,
sense.
I usually just backstab. I like fighting them head up is so annoying that I just backstab those guys and use like little tactics like that. Because head up fighting those guys is a bitch.
Yeah, and then From Azula is really annoying. Haligtree was miserable for me when I first did it. Like all the bubble guys on those routes, and then you get in and you're like, all right, at least I'm in like a place now. And nope, then everything's fucking crazy. And there's like one of them goddamn red misbegotten knights that fucking follows you around. It was just like, it went from like a fun situation to like, I just want it to be done. And I have not felt that except for Sekiro, you know, like where I was like, I just want to be done. And like Dark Souls 1, love that game. Played it 50 times and I'll play it again and it'll still be great. I have played Elden Ring through 3 times now and I'm like, I don't want to do it again.
Right.
Well, yeah, because you did it immediately. Like that's why like I beat it once and I was still like hyped for the game, but I knew I just told myself delete it. Like I'll come back in a few months, or I don't know about a few months, but I think I'm still gonna have to wait because I'm playing Horizon now and Cyberpunk still halfway through. I want to go back in, but I think I'm gonna still keep myself back for a little bit. I'm not gonna wait for a DLC, but I'm probably gonna wait at least another month. Because I don't want that to happen, you know, like
Well, after I beat it, I immediately turned it off and then was like, okay, I'm going to now play something that takes 0 anger from me. And I've just been playing Lord of the Rings Online, which is like an old MMO. It's 15 years old. They just had a 15-year anniversary thing. And I had just thought about like, maybe I'll just play it because I played it about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. And I got pretty far in. I played probably 50 or 60 hours, like just soloing and doing stuff. And I really enjoyed it. The music's very chill. Like the story's good. Now I don't really care about the story because I've done it, you know? But I'm just enjoying it. It's like a chill vibe. It's just like no thought. I just press 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, you know, like whatever. I just my little rotations and just chill listening to the Shire music, and it's nice. Because that last stream, the end of it, I got really mad. Like it was one of those streams where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore, and I just turned it off and turned the stream off. I was like, I was gonna.
Oh yeah, you left Discord and everything. Like he was pissed.
Yeah, I was like,
he
I'm
just
done.
came back whispering. He's like, I'm sorry, I got real mad.
I have to like.
What is that? Just mad at Elden Ring?
Yeah. I was trying to do Godfrey, and I love that fight. Like new game, the Godfrey is dope. New game plus, all of a sudden, his stomp attacks are just relentless. He just keeps doing the everywhere stomp. You have no time to jump, and it's just to make it so you don't have Estus. It's so annoying. I'm like,
because every time you go to heal, he does it again.
Yes,
every time,
and I'm like, well, then don't let me heal. If I have to do it without healing, stop giving me heals. It's so dumb. Like it makes me mad. I'm like, if you put it in the game, let me do it. If not, fuck off. Then I don't want to heal. Like I want no heals. Because if you're gonna have bosses input read to that level, to where it's like, oh, he pressed square, okay, time to do the stomp. Oh, he pressed square again, time to do the stomp again. Oh, he pressed square again, time to do the stomp again. It's not even hidden. Like,
yeah, it's a little frustrating where they've done it before because it's understandable to have enemies and stuff like kind of input read to a point. I mean, it's not really very fair, very cool, but to a point, I kind of get it. But this is the first time it's like super.
We've literally never mentioned it before, ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's never been something that we called out or mentioned or felt like, I don't know, man. It just feels
I didn't even
like
notice
this time.
I can tell you, I would notice it in some of the old games, like when I was trying to do bow kills. Like if I was going to try to shoot someone with a bow, they might dodge, like right when I let loose. But
Yeah.
in this, they literally do. Like you press, right bumper to shoot or right trigger, whatever it is to shoot, and they dodge immediately. And I was saying this last week. If you want to see it in action, shoot something with a crossbow. Shoot them once and then press the button again because you have to reload. You have to press it to reload. They'll dodge when you try to reload, and you're like, "Oh, you're literally just reading my button inputs." Like it's not even like you're seeing it. Like in some of the other games, they would wait till an arrow was coming at them and dodge. And you're like, "Okay, that makes sense, right?"
Yeah.
I would love to see the Northman happen where he fucking grabs a spear out of the air and turns around and fucking throws it through a guy's skull. Oh my god. We'll get there, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. It's probably a 9 out of 10 for me. It probably 8.5 to be fair, because that ending I get so mad. And I go in every time like I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just gonna fight Radagon. It's gonna be fine. It's not fine. That fight back to back sucks. And I actually got to the point I like Radagon like as a fight because you can learn
cool.
his moves. You can you're gonna get hit by AoEs and shit. But I've gotten to the point where if I have a nice great shield on, I can block and use determination or whatever or unbreakable shield or whatever it is, the art of war that you can do while blocking that makes you take 0 stamina damage. So like you can block through most of his shit, right? And you'll learn his roll times. Like I actually enjoyed that fight. It's when you're doing that fight on your 50th try just to get to the Elden Beast that you're like, fuck this. Like it happened with Genichiro and Ishin for me too. Like there's a couple of runs there where I was like, fuck you, you cunt, you piece of shit. Like then I would get hit once and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna let him kill me because what's the point if I get hit even one time? Like it's a waste of my life. That was Radagon.
Yeah.
Like, if I had less than 10 flasks, there's no point. Like because Elden Beast is easy as shit, but also hard as fuck because like he runs away. Like if he just would do that twice, I could probably survive. But he does it every 2 seconds.
I think it just depends what move sets he ends up using. You know what I mean? Because there's certain ones you're just gonna lose.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll just one shot you.
It's that
immediately.
That 4/, like I could dodge it either perfect or I would get hit by everyone and die. Like it's either I had the exact timing down. But yeah, and dude, my 100% run, I posted on Beyond the Fog. If anyone ever needs help on Elden Ring, reddit.com/r/Beyond the Fog. You just post in there. You put in brackets what system you're on, and then in brackets help me. Or help, and then you post the boss, and you just put a password, and you say, "Hey, I'm here at the door with whatever." Bro, this guy said, "Me and my friend are coming. We love this fight," and I was like, "Hell yeah, dude!" They came and literally fucked Radagon in his ass, and then one died by an errant like blast that the Elden Beast threw because it looked like it was going for someone else, and then it went to her. But this dude did the Langrisax, the like red lightning dragon, his move, bruh. Or it was Placidusax or whoever has the red lightning that goes outward. That goes outward around them, and like it's almost like the fire spell that was always in Dark Souls, where like the pillars of fire would come up. It was like that, bro. He did that 3 times and killed the Elden Beast. I was like, I don't know what you did, but God bless you. And I gave him. I spent $5 on Reddit and gave him an award. So yeah, dude, they fucked it up, and that was after like 15 tries on Godfrey of me just raging, like And it makes me mad because I'll like a fight and then they'll just make you do it so many times that it ruins it, and I'm like, I just. And something like my first time with Godfrey, I killed him my second try. Like I killed him with bleed bugs, and it was super easy because they just stun locked him. This time I didn't have no damn bleed bugs, and he was just molly-whopping me. Like, I went back through New Game Plus pretty easy, actually. Like, most of the bosses, I was fucking them up, whatever, because it's not that big of a jump. But that ending set of bosses is just miserable. Like, to me, they're all heel taxed like crazy. They all have some kind of AoE dot move, like Malekith's blood thing that burns you for like 5 seconds afterwards, and you're just like, can I catch a fucking break? Like, can a bitch catch a break? That's all I want to know. But
Yeah.
Other than that,
Radicon would be nice. Like if you didn't need to save the Estes. He's perfect to like just barely break through and have a great time fighting him, but
yeah, if they just gave him a phase 2 that was good,
Yep.
I'd be like, yep,
Yeah.
that was perfect. And then I'd fight Elden Beast and I'd be like, whatever. Like, I can fight that over and over again and learn the patterns, but back to back, it's just too much. Like, for me, I was like,
Yeah.
yep, no, I'm not. I don't ever want to do it. Every time I get there, like, probably in the future, I will play Elden Ring over and over again up until I finish Godfrey. And then I'll be like,
Well,
hey,
we talked about the arena thing too, where some of those fights feel like you were meant to have your horse, and
yeah.
you just don't.
Elden Beast specifically feels like you should have your
Right.
horse. It's literally just an open wasteland of water. And it runs away over and over again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even like have lore that they tell you. It's in the lore for one of the spells, Erd Tree's Blessing or whatever. There's a note about it, but I'm like, I don't. Radagon's at least in the lore. He's he's the second Elden Lord. You know, there's Godfrey,
Yeah.
who then Marika marries Radagon, and Godfrey leaves. I don't know. No one really knows what happened, like why she married Radagon, other than that she then they become each other. It's very weird, but at least Radagon.
Yeah, there's still
Yeah.
weird shit about that where they might be the same person or they either merge or I don't know. It's still kind of weird.
And I do wish they would have made this one like more of an RPG. Honestly, we said it last week, but I do wish, like we have all said, that there was just a fucking town I could go to or two. You know, like
Right.
Roundtable Hold is okay, but it's basically just another fucking Firelink Shrine. You know, it's just
It's just a Firelink.
yeah, like
Yep.
have a couple
100%.
towns where I could go. Like the Crawfish guy, give me a little town with him and like a couple other brigands that don't necessarily want to fight you unless you fight them. You know, like.
Yeah.
Or like give me a town where I can go kill like a nearby dungeon, and then people come out of the the caves nearby and are like, holy shit, we've been waiting to get our town back. You know, like I don't know, it really did feel like they just made Dark Souls but open world. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And while
Yeah.
that's amazing, and I love Elden Ring in its own way, I do wish there was a slight bit more. Like I feel like there could have been more enemy variety. All the human guys look literally exactly the same. Like there's 4 models, and then they just put different colors on them, and I'm like, you couldn't. I don't. We're not in Dark Souls. You know, like they don't have to be hollow. Like it could be just people. Why do they have to be like
Yeah.
monster zombie people? Like why?
Because that's just the thing. They got to be tarnished. Because that's what drives you mad. You have to be driven mad. But yeah, they should just have dudes. You know,
just a dude. Like just a guy. I'm just a guy who's a guard for this castle over here, and then you kill him, and you kind of feel bad because all he's doing is his job, and you're just going to steal shit. You know, like I don't know that, and yeah, it does. I just wished for a little bit more. It was like greatest hits is what it felt like. Actually, there's like a little bit of every game in it. You know, that's what I think. Why Bloodborne is so good. It is so different. You know what I mean? It's so much its own fucking thing. Yes, it has its roots in Dark Souls where like, you're still sitting at a bonfire, which is a lamp there. You're still leveling up in the same way. You know, the gameplay is largely the same, but they've obviously adjusted with the HP regen stuff that you can do and all that, but like graphically and design-wise, it's its own fucking game.
Yeah.
And Sekino's,
they really touched something. They really did something special with Bloodborne, though.
yeah, and even
I don't
Sekiro
even know
though.
if he can.
Look at Sekiro. All the people are people. Like they're human beings. They don't look like monsters. You know, there are like big, crazy, weirdo people, but like they could have just done more of that. I don't know. Elden Ring specifically feels like Dark Souls 4. It's very weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
It is still great, and I'm not here to shit on it at all. I'm just saying I shit on the ending, and I love the game. It's just I did wish for a little bit more. That's why it's not a 10. Even if it was really hard at the end, but like it was amazing, like the spectacle was there, I would probably bump it up to like a 9.5, and I would be the one who's taking a point off because I'm bad at it. But like I do think, like James pointed out, that when you get to the snow place, you're like, holy shit, this is a whole giant area, and then it's not. It's tiny.
It's just a lot of open space.
And you're on
Yeah,
it's called the mountaintops of the giants. So it makes sense that like what you see on the sides is like actually an angled slope, you know? But give me some crisscrossing paths up it, you know, like I don't know, just make it something. It was literally just a bunch of giants fighting birds, some big hands that I never even noticed until like later when I was hunting for items.
I don't even think those are the giants. The giants, I think, are dead.
Yes, I just meant the yetis, like the ogre people fighting birds.
Oh no,
trolls.
I thought you meant the big. I thought you meant the big, the giant armor suits that are like glowing
Oh
fire
no, I
buddies.
don't know what we call those. Those are
Those
like
are
golems.
golems, aren't
Yeah,
they?
those are golems. Yeah,
Yeah, golem.
yeah.
And then there's the troll buddies, but the troll
Mhm.
buddies are giants because if you notice the hollow in their stomach, that's where the face was. I saw some
Oh,
lore thing where that's where they cut. Although if you notice the hole is missing because they cut the face out of them or something like that.
Mm,
They
okay.
they have they're supposed to have the face mouth in their stomach like the big giant man.
Yeah.
yeah. I
man.
I just like I loved it. In my first playthrough, I put 150 hours in, probably 100 and probably 30 for my first like full playthrough.
Yeah, mine's like 135, 140, I think.
But um once you get into like the dungeons and shit, the mini dungeons, they're all relatively the same design. There's like
Oh
4
yeah.
layouts, and
Oh
then
yeah.
they recycle a lot of those mini bosses. And to me, I'm like, just don't have them then. Like, I don't know. And whenever they recycle them, it's worse every time. It's like now there's 2 and one's invisible, and like now
Yeah,
there's...
looking back on it, I guess I probably would have been like maybe less dungeons
Yeah.
and more like variety to them would have been better.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
was okay with them. I like that there's a million dungeons
I
and the
like 'em,
bosses are
but
kind of a waste.
They're the same thing over and over again. Like I feel like if it was just like more effort into like less of them, it would have been just even more epic. You
you
know?
want to know the ones that
Yeah.
are different?
Because it became like a dungeon's just a dungeon, and dungeon's a dungeon's a dungeon's a dungeon.
Yeah,
What
pretty
the
much.
only different ones are those fucking chariot ones, which are the
Yeah.
absolute cancer of dungeons. Like,
But
Oh,
those are
fuck
cool.
those.
Like it's a whole thing going into them. Like you go down like the big elevator
Yeah,
and
yeah.
through like
Yeah.
a little temple building looking thing. Like they felt special, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is
the
weird.
hero jails or whatever.
Largely, every area, even like they all look different and are cool, like outside. But once you get into the little caves and dungeons, they're basically the same place. You're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But
They're
again, I mean,
chalice dungeons.
we're complaining about
Right.
awesome shit. It's just when you see that in comparison to like a Dark Souls 1 or 3, you're like, okay, I can see why they probably didn't do open world before. You know, like they want to handcraft everything, and that's why those games are so lovingly, revered, is because they are so meticulously designed.
Yeah.
You lose some of that. Like the main dungeons get that, like all the castles and stuff, kind of, except for the giant mountaintop. But I don't know, whatever. It's a great game. I can't wait for DLC. There's a lot of build diversity and stuff to do in there, but I do realize in the end, it all just is either a different type of melee weapon or a magic of some sort. There's only like 2 real builds. You're either like running away
Well,
shooting
Well,
magic.
there's bows.
You can't play the whole game with a bow. I was watching.
I've been watching a guy do it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't even have infinite arrows.
No, yeah, I know.
You can only have 99 twice. I mean, you can have multiple stacks of 99 different types of arrows, but you can't. I don't know. It's weird. It is a little weird. Like,
Well, when you go to your bonfire, you get. I mean, it refills.
that's
but,
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Because
But yeah.
I was buying them like 500 to like 900 at a time when I'd buy them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just keep my arrows at max. Every time I would go, I'd just buy them all. But
And that's
then
not an
again,
Elden Ring complaint. I just realized the other day when I was like, maybe I'll do another new build and just run through for my last, ending. But
I mean, if we're picking at stuff a little bit, like maybe things they could have done less of and gave us more in, other areas, like Like the crafting idea like seemed good at first, but like I mean, but see, this is me though, because I'm not really an item user. But the crafting is kind of like not. It's just not necessary.
It's
You know what I
extremely
mean? Like
unnecessary. Yeah.
the only thing you need is a thing that like brings you or relieves the rot. Like that's it.
Yeah, the poison and the rot ones. I mean, the frost ones. I guess you need, but there's not many enemies that really do frost to you, other than the big
Well,
dragon.
the frost, like you just get hit hard when it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't linger. I don't
just
think
a big
afterwards.
damage.
No, it
Yeah.
does linger. It makes you take more damage for a set period of time, and you're slower.
I don't think I ever ran into it.
Only that
enough.
one ice dragon does it a lot. The one in the snow world, but yeah, I agree.
God, the one near the Deathbird.
Yeah, that Deathbird's the only optional boss I didn't beat.
Same here. I forgot
Which
to
one?
go back to it.
The one in
Deathbird
the
in the
snow
area.
I fought like 2 or 3 of those.
It's the big one, and it's a motherfucker. There's one in the snow world in the graveyard, where there's like that one's a little mini one. He was fine. I killed him first try. There's a big one that does insane snow magic, like death fire or whatever, the black fire. It's fucking miserable. It is miserable.
It's like on the way down, like when you're trying to like work your way down a mountainside.
Yeah,
or
and
some shit.
obviously it's only at night, but yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. I love Elden Ring, but I definitely see its flaws more than any other From game, including Dark Souls 2.
Nah, Dark Souls 2's trash.
I mean, it's definitely better than Dark Souls 2, obviously.
Oh God, yes.
But
speaking of a 2.5,
yeah, so that's it. Other than that, what I just was watching. I started The Fall with Gillian Anderson randomly. I just tossed it on in the background while I was working, and I'm on season 3 already. It's the final season, but it's old. It's just like a murder mystery. But I thought it was going to be like every season she's catching a different like serial killer, but no, it's all 3 seasons are about this one guy. And it's very interesting. Like you see it through his eyes and her eyes. So it's a cool show. And then I'm still watching Legend of Shield Hero as it comes out. I think this week's episode I think it's Tuesdays. I don't know. Because I looked today and there's no new episode. So. And then I put a new anime on my list called Skeleton in Armor. And it's like a brand new show. And it's another like fantasy one about a skeleton knight or something. I don't know. I haven't started it yet. That's it for me.
That's it?
That's it.
Alrighty. So I've been playing a bunch of shit. So Cyberpunk continues. It's good. I still think it's pretty good. It's not like the greatest game in the world, but I still think Cyberpunk is pretty neat. So I do definitely recommend anybody who never gave it a shot, go play it. It's pretty good. The story does continue to be pretty cool, and it's pretty neat. It gets very Matrix later, like with Keanu Reeves. Like there's one part where you just go into the Matrix basically, and it's pretty cool. So I like it. So I did start a bunch of other games. So I did purchase something called Agents of Mayhem, which
wasn't that in the Crackdown universe?
No, I think it's the bootleg Grand Theft Auto universe. What's the company that makes it? Saints Row.
Oh, and yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hate Saints Row games are really bad. This is made by Deep Silver publishes it. So Saints Row games are they play really bad. This game doesn't play bad though. But it's like they have like it's on sale. I got it for like $3 with like all the DLC. It's like the super edition. And it's basically like a hero game. Like you have you pick a team of 3. I don't know, there's probably like 15, 20 heroes. You only start with 3 though, and then as you play, you unlock more heroes. They all have different classes. So one guy is like the guy with the assault rifle and grenades. The next guy is the guy with the shotgun and a harpoon. Then there's a bow and arrow girl. Then there's a girl who's like a hacker with like wrist weapons, and they all play pretty differently. And the graphics are cool. They're like just simple, very cartoony. It looks like a Pixar, not like Pixar. It looks like Megamind, kind of. Um, and it's pretty dumb. Like it's like really rudimentary and dumb. You're just killing goons, and like if you look it up, it's Agents of Mayhem, and it's got really, really, really great presentation. So there's like fully animated cutscenes all the time and intros into each character and tons of voice acting. I noticed that you can switch when you're playing as your team of 3 heroes, you just press left or right in the D-pad and you just like morph into the other one. It's like a little teleporting MacGuffin that lets you explain that. And if you're always talking on your comms with the person giving you the missions, and if you just switch characters between, like, the other person's voice actor continues the conversation. So every single route of dialogue in this game has been recorded by every voice actor in everything. So everything is voice acted. It's funny. It's like kiddie and funny, but it's like also I think they curse. I'm pretty sure they curse. Uh and it's a cool game. It's just really dumb. It's like really like kind of like it's like not hard. It's just like go here, kill bad guys, go here, kill bad guys, get in the car, drive here, kill bad guys. So it's definitely worth $3 if you need something mindless to play and you know whatever. So I don't regret it. I feel bad that it's $3. I do think it's worth more just because the production value is so high in it and it looks so well done. So I feel bad sometimes when I see something like that because a whole bunch of people probably worked really hard on that and probably thought like, oh man, this is awesome. Like we're making this huge game. It's an offshoot of the Saints Row thing. And I even see the symbol. The symbol looks like a jet, but if you look at it, it's the Saints Row symbol that's been kind of modified. So I don't know. Out of 10, it's like a 4. Yeah, it's like 3.5.
Oh, so it's up there with Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's it's pretty bad, but it's fun for mindless bullshit. I've played worse. I've been playing Lara Croft Go, which is cool. Those are turn-based puzzle games. They're super simple. I just was looking online and somebody was posting about it. They're like, "Oh, this game is cool. The platinum was fun," and I was like, "Oh, that seems fun." Like, I played that Friday the 13th, the puzzle game, platinumed that a few months ago, and that was fun. I like those little kind of grid-based puzzle games. This one's pretty neat though. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Lara Croft Go, and then there's also Hitman Go, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like the subject matter. With this, you're running away from spiders and monsters and like lizards and shit, and there's a giant snake. And I like Tomb Raider, so Lara Croft Go is pretty cool. I did start Horizon Forbidden West. I just went and bought it, and it is pretty good, man. So it looks incredible. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the best looking games, whatever.
I will say I was watching you and it's fucking beautiful. Like every time you turn the camera, I'd be like, fuck. Like you'd see something and I'd be like, God damn.
It's pretty ridiculous how good it looks, especially when early on in the game you fight a giant cobra and you kill it and it falls and you can walk up to it and look at it. And if you put the resolution mode on, it's fucking crazy how like deep the texture, like it almost looks like it's really there. Like it's fucking nuts, man. And sometimes when you're watching 2 characters talk, the character models and the facial animations and the lip syncing and the acting, it looks like you're watching people. Like, man, we are getting there where it looks like you're just watching people. Like it looks better than real life. It's so uncanny valley, so fucking crazy. It's awesome. But so I saw it in like video breakdowns, but now I was able to see it 1-to-1 on my 4K monitor. When you have resolution mode and you're not moving, it is so incredibly beautiful. The moment you move the camera or you walk, it's so I don't want to say it's choppy, but that's what it is. It's like stuttery, like the frame rate. But it's not that it's choppy. It's just that it's at the half the frame rate. It's at 30 instead of 60. So I'm thinking, oh, this is such terrible fucking frame rate. But that's what we used to play games at. I'm just used to games at 60 frames now. Like dog, do you remember, Aaron, when SKAL came out at 60 frames and we
Yeah.
were like, holy shit.
We were like, it looks too smooth.
Yeah, it was like it's too smooth. But when you go between resolution and performance mode, resolution mode, it's like I can't really pinpoint what it is that looks so much better. I think the lighting kind of hits better and it's more rich. But in performance mode, the frame rate, just moving your camera is just so smooth. There's not a this it's perfect. It's so buttery. It's just wonderful. But resolution mode, man, I was climbing this big complicated looking robot shit and this big tower, and I put it in resolution mode and the game slowed to a crawl. Like it slowed to like she like went to jump and grab something and her hair was like it was real bad. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want my system to explode. Keeping it on performance mode. Like was nuts. Like, where's that PS4, PS5 Pro, man? Because but in the end, still visually still looks super awesome. I'm really happy they put that thing in because, you know, this came out the same time as Elden Ring, and Elden Ring, you just mash triangle over items and pick them up. And in this fucking game, they wanted you to kneel down and pluck the leaves from the tree every time.
Does the animation every time.
Oh,
Yeah,
every time, dude.
I noticed when you were
Every
playing,
time.
you'd just walk by and like branches would like, and then it was like in your inventory.
Yeah, luckily they put it, so I was like, ooh, let me go check the options, and they put it in there. They put a pickup animation on or off, so I turned that off. They do have a fuck ton of accessibility options, which are pretty cool. Like, the game has this way of like highlighting grabbable ledges. That's kind of cool and futuristic. And if you hit your R3, obviously, you get like a pulse that shows like, are there enemies around? Are there pickups around? Are there ledges you can grab? But you could just like turn those on. I don't do it, but a lot of people like just turn on the ledge grabby thing so you can see the ledges, and it makes the world look kind of weird and matrixy. But other than that, it is still challenging. I mean, I'm just starting, so these dinosaur robot buddies are fucking me up. Like, it's pretty nuts, man. They like, some of them are really, really tough. But I know what's gonna happen. You know, it's like I'm in for it. This is it. It's a modern game. It's a big, big game. This is just gonna be like, I'm just gonna walk through this game. It's not going to stop me. I haven't had a problem with her being like, oh, do this, do that, like telling me how to solve puzzles, but I haven't done many puzzles. But I can tell that like I'm gonna get pretty fucking strong pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. And I'm gonna try my best not to like hate on it and be like, oh, that's stupid. But it is doing like it's gonna happen. The Elden Ring's gonna come up anytime I talk about this game. It's just gonna happen, dog.
I was gonna ask if playing Cyberpunk in between gave any little bit of a filter anyway to that.
It did. It did. I mean, that's still an open world game, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
So this feels completely different than Elden Ring. I don't feel like I'm exploring because, fuck,
You're guided everywhere, aren't you?
You're guided everywhere. So like I'm on the map and I'm going towards like a hub or a quest or like a town, and I'm walking, and then just on my map is a question mark. And it's like, why would you tell me that there's a point of interest over there? Like, let me look up on the cliffside and see that there's a giant satellite tower up there and be like, ooh, I wonder if I should go there and see if that's a thing. No, they just put it on your map. They just put question mark. And then like I'm just somewhere, and there's an exclamation point on my map, and in a little spot I haven't been yet, and I highlight it, and it says side quest, and it's like, fuck, man, they're gonna tell me, they're gonna tell you everything, like. It's bonkers. I like that the map is full and tells you everything. Like, if you want to find a specific type of dinosaur to hunt, the map like tells you like a kind of like a hunter's map. When you see like a map where it's oh go here to fight bears, go here to fight alligators or whatever. Like it'll tell you like here's where the scroungers are at. Here's where the poopers are at, and here's the pee-pee ones. Whatever it is, and that's cool. It tells me where shit is. But man. The fact that you can't go 100 kilometers from something without them being like, there's a thing over here. There's that don't miss this thing. So that just tells me that I mean, I didn't 100% the first one because I just got bored because I beat the game and I was like, I'm going to go clean everything up. But there's so much of it. And apparently this game, it's that again. Like there's so much. But as of right now, I'm only like 5 hours in, so I'm not even fully in the Forbidden West yet. This game takes place immediately after the first game, and like it's pretty crazy because I've been playing through pretty large parts of game, and I'm still in the East. I haven't gone to the Forbidden West whatsoever, so I'm pretty sure this game is going to be massive. But yeah, you have to like go to the Forbidden West, and I'm trying to get to a whatever embassy and all this shit. But as of now, it's pretty cool. I'll be playing that when I'm streaming for a little while. I think I'm just gonna grind Cyberpunk on my solo, on my dolo shit. But as of now, it is a cool game. It's just so different from Cyberpunk. It is a game that's gonna kind of tell you what to do. It's making me want to go back and play God of War though. But yeah, so that's cool. Other than that, I did get 2 new records in the mail today. Your boy got Streets of Rage 1 and 2 by Data Disc, Data 1 and Data 5.
Oh, shit. I forgot. I played a little bit of Streets of Rage 4. It's on Game Pass, and it was leaving soon, so I installed it. And
the game's great.
It's so good looking.
Yeah,
like
it's also you're also playing it like post a million patches.
Yeah,
they've done so many quality things to that game that it's a very, very, very good game.
The only thing I wish was like a dash or a dodge. It's
that's
too classic in that way where it's like I just have to walk backwards slowly and hope I don't get hit. And some of the guys do like triple jump kicks that fucked me up.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they have, which kind of annoys me. They have to keep because that's what keeps it like Streets of Rage. There's also it depends on the character. Some characters have a run and shit. Depends on who you use. Like if you use Cherry, she can run.
Okay, cool.
And some characters can roll. Some can. Everyone's different.
I got to World 6. I played it for like probably an hour.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
you almost beat it.
I really enjoyed what I was playing, and then I was like, I don't know, I just kind of burnt out for that period, because it's like it's long for not long, but some of those games kind of wear on you a little bit, like you're just walking sideways, punching. But
yeah, it's meant to be beaten in like a sitting. You almost beat it.
Yeah, I know. It's so good looking though. Like honestly, the animations in it are so nice, and the art style. It's just really, it's really great.
You guys should, it's co-op. You guys could play it.
We could
to beat it.
Is it still on there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's leaving
in really great.
March, I think. Hold on. No,
okay.
May. Sorry. Yeah, leaving soon. Leaves 5/1. So it's if you just scroll into your Game Pass on PC, you'll see it's at the leaving soon. There's Outlast 2 is leaving, and man, you better be quick. International Edition Cricket 2019 is leaving soon.
But yeah, Streets of Rage 1 and 2 soundtracks from Data Disc. You should look those up. They're really, really. Data Disc is a really, really great company that makes really, really great video game vinyl records. They do a really great job at reproducing the sound, and also their packaging and what they bring. They bring lithographs and like all this art and shit. They're probably, quite possibly, I would say they're the best company that does video game records. Most of the video game records you see people brag about are Mondo records, and Mondo records are kind of gaudy. I do have them all. They did the Castlevanias. They are very good, but I'm still going to say Data Disc is the best. Those are dope. Also, the special record I told y'all about last week is supposed to show up today, but it still hasn't gotten here, so it's probably going to show up tomorrow. So I'll save that for next episode. Or if you follow your boy on Instagram, Jester954, you'll see that when that posts. Speaking of records, so I posted the Deftones Ohms that you got me before Aaron. Because I remember Aaron wanted to support the Ohms release, so you bought the record, you pre-ordered the record.
I pre-ordered
then you got it.
edition with the record, and I was like, I'm never gonna have a record player.
Yeah, you're like, you don't have a record player, so you very graciously let me have it. I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, let me look it up. Man, that's a rare one. That's a rare edition. It's clear. It's very clear, glass clear. You can see right through it.
Beautiful.
It's really nice. So that joint. It came with a zine as well, so you should try to find that zine and keep it safe. It goes for like $125, $150 together. That's pretty decent.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'll never sell it though. Ohms is amazing. Exactly. I love that album.
So I was thinking about that, like when it comes to like selling shit, like I don't sell stuff. Like I have records worth a couple $100. I have a lot of records worth more than a few $100s. I just don't sell shit. And I was thinking about like if I could go back to 1995 and tell myself, go have mom go to KB Toys or Toys R Us, buy a copy of on Sega Genesis, Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master, and keep it sealed. And if I had that for 25 years, right? What would I get for it now? Let's say $300. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm a baller. $300 is nothing. But would it really be worth that? Like, imagine if you had a sealed copy of, I don't know, some game that was from 1997 or some shit. Like, and it's worth like, oh man, somebody will pay you $150. It's like, I don't know, man. It kind of means more to me than that.
Right.
Like 150, 200, even $300-400. Like, yes, that's money. That can help. It depends. I understand that sometimes, like, obviously if you're in real need, but when it comes to like, you know, I don't know, man. When I look at like some records that I have where it's like, I'll probably never spin the shit again, and I probably spent $30 on it, but I could sell it for $85. I don't know. I just rather not. I'm just not really big on like flipping stuff like that. But
yeah, it comes down to like what you bought it for. You know what I mean? Like you bought it as a collector and a lover of music and all this stuff. Like,
yeah,
I buy a bunch of collectible Batman shit, have zero like plans to sell it. Like it's gonna end up in the garbage one day when I'm dead. Like that's all it's gonna be.
pretty much.
You know what I mean? But to me, I mean, it's worth stuff maybe to other people too. It's just like I just have no intentions of selling.
Never even thought of that. Like all the stuff I collect, I'm like, I love that, and then I'm gonna die one day.
Garbage.
And
and
someone's just
gonna be
like,
gone. You know.
Yeah.
It's a huge bummer. Like, not to bring it down, but like, I remember like last week I brought up a friend of mine that I just lost, and he was the same. My friend Marcos was a huge collector. Like he has a massive record collection and a massive movie collection. Like he loved fucking movies, bro. Like he had thousands of movies, and I'm just wondering, like, would his parents even know where to start with what to do with his shit, or did they just like donate it, or did they just lock it?
We're dealing with her granny's stuff right now, and it's just like one of those things. Like everybody grabbed a few things like in memory or something, but other than that, it's like, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? We gotta like get rid of it now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Do you donate it, or like I don't know how his parents took it. Like did they just lock his room and leave everything in there, never touch it? Like, so I think like, man, I wonder like you know, my shit. I always think like I need to like not like make a will, but kind of like God forbid something was to happen to me, like I'd be like, all right, like before I would always think all my records go to Marcos, but like I was thinking I have to write down like, all right, my PSN, my PlayStation Network account is so valuable that like that needs to go to Aaron, and then Aaron, you could either raffle it off to a listener, or like it goes like somebody like it's my PSN account is probably worth, I don't know, man, many thousands of dollars. There's 500 games on there at minimum, and like all the years of shit. Good.
I was just like, the reason I'm giggling is just that like it like you care now, but like you're just not gonna care.
I'm gonna be
you're
dead.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like
No, I know.
I will
but,
be.
like,
I will
oh
be
my
in.
shit.
I'll be in
really,
heaven.
you're not gonna care.
I'll be in heaven in the arms of my Savior, Jesus Christ, in an upside down 69, in his arms because he's holding me behind my ass cheeks.
He's pile driver. He's pile driving you. He's
But
eating your
he's
ass while you're
pile
blowing him.
driving me into the clouds, so it feels good. And when I'm
Are
eating
you
his ass
is
too.
this like Jared Leto Jesus or?
Hell no! I'm talking about Middle Eastern Jesus, baby. Like,
Okay, there you go. That's I didn't know if you were going like.
dude, Jared Leto, by the way, was in a fucking ad. It was like a Morbius ad when I saw Northman, and he's wearing a blouse. Like he's wearing like.
Yeah, he wears
wears-
robes like that.
It's called
all
fashion,
the time.
honey.
No. This is a blouse, like a floral,
Oh.
like a see-through blouse, like
I thought you were talking like his muumuus
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
like
he wears.
sheer. It's like it's
yeah,
completely
not
see-through.
to
Yeah.
not to gender clothing, right? Like whatever. Let's not get. I know Jesse, but what I mean is, it looks like something like a professional woman would wear with like a camisole over it, like so because you would be able to see her bra through it. So it's like you would want the accent of it through your outfit, right? Like, and then you would have a jacket.
Kind of like
over
one of
it.
them net shirts or something.
Yeah, I laughed so hard. It was puffy sleeves. It reminded me of the Seinfeld episode where he's wearing the puffy shirt. He gets the puffy shirt. He's like, I don't want to wear the puffy shirt. It's what he was wearing. And I was like, and he has so much Botox. Kelsey saw it. She was like, look at his face. It doesn't even move.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's major Hollywood. Like he is super Hollywood, bro.
You know what's
I watched
great?
this. Netflix had a documentary on him and kind of his band, and I watched it once, and it was the most pretentious, obnoxious thing to watch this fucking guy pretend to be like tortured. While he
what's
was
the worst?
like,
he's pretending all that, and he's in a pop punk band. Like he was in like a borderline screamo band. You know, like 30 Seconds to Mars.
he was in like a bootleg MCR.
Yeah. Yes. And
I'm not gonna lie, they were kind of good.
I mean, that song "The Kill" slaps, right? Like, you can sing along with it, whatever. And he has a great voice. If he was just not pretending like they aren't bootleg MCR, you'd be like, "Oh, cool," you know, like it's,
right.
It's when people like, because even MCR, they don't act like they made like a rock opera record, but they didn't like. You don't see Gerard Way like, I'm just tortured, man. Like, music means everything. Like, he wrote songs about his dead grandma and shit, and like he didn't do that. You know what I mean? I have no respect for that shit. Like, you ever see someone like singing and they're contriving what they're doing, but they are acting like they're not? Like, some singers do it because it's the show, right? Like they put a show on for you, and that's great.
Yeah.
But then you see some people pretending like they're like, and they're like making all the faces like they actually are in pain, and you're like, all right, buddy, like you're just singing, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
frustrating.
It's frustrating. And Jared Leto's a piece of shit who let people's opinions of him like actually bleed into his reality.
Yeah. He's definitely a fucking wacko. I was looking at my records last night, and I'm thinking like, man, all I'm missing is Gore and Diamond Eyes.
Ooh.
And I was thinking like, man, all I need. Also, I'm missing Adrenaline, but I have no care for Adrenaline. But I'm literally only missing those two, so I'm thinking I'm gonna pick them up.
Yeah, Adrenaline
collect the set, man. You got to catch them all.
Adrenaline has a couple slappers, but it's just not. It's not like what I like.
It's unrefined.
Yeah, it's not what I like about Deftones.
Yeah, definitely. And then the final thing is fucking GameFAQs.com. I'm not sure if you guys use GameFAQs. I've been using GameFAQs for I live
in 2022.
What is GameFAQs?
Game FAQs. Game FAQs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was like the OG of where you got your guides. Like that was the only legit.
OG was Cheat CC, Cheat Code Central.
That's true.
I see. I never had internet, so it was always Wizard Magazine for cheats for me.
Dude, Cheat Central, you fucking
Cheat
blew
CC,
my
Cheat Code
mind.
Central was the original.
Holy shit, I'm old. God damn it.
It's Cheat Code Central before, and then it became GameFAQs. I'm that old on there, right? And there's a poll of the day. You know what I mean? Like, who, favorite Mario game or whatever, favorite game you're looking for this season, whatever. There's a poll of the day every day. I have like a God account on there, dog. I've had my account for so long, but like there's a poll of the day, and I'm just like, I don't know if they're just bored or it's just data mining. Because dog, they ask shit sometimes that I'm just like, I don't answer them because I want to answer the poll of the day every day because like I want to get my OG points. But like, man, sometimes they ask you shit like. I'm trying to think, like, do you have a landline still? And I'm like, okay, that's not so bad. And then the next day, it's like, favorite Sonic game. And then a couple days later, how many people live in your household? And I'm like, okay, maybe there's like, other questions like, where do you usually game? Your bedroom or the living room or like whatever. Okay, how big is? Oh, what do you mostly game on? PlayStation, Xbox, whatever.
What's the
And then
last
like,
four of your social?
it's like how many vehicles are owned in the house? I'm like, dog, every now and then they slip these questions
It's like
in.
census reports.
Yeah, where they're asking very bizarre questions where it's like, what income bracket do you fall into? No, or it's like it's weird, man. Like, I don't know. But yeah, just be careful sometimes when you're used to these
Who are you
internet
gonna
things.
vote for in the next election?
Yeah, these polls and stuff when they ask you, even shit like YouTube, when sometimes before you watch a YouTube video, before when I used to have ads, which I don't anymore, YouTube Premium, I'm definitely going to let YouTube Premium go ahead and rock because YouTube Premium is chef's kiss, dog. No ads. I can put videos and close my phone. For me, it's worth it. But even before YouTube videos, sometimes it's like, it'll ask you, instead of giving you an ad, it'll ask a question and be like, which of these have you heard of? Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Surge. I'm not clicking that. I'm gonna wait.
That's just them selling that data to other people, basically. Yeah.
Anyways, watch your backs. All right, I'm done.
Fucking cheat CC, bro. You just like it was like you tapped a nerve in my body. Like I had a lightning bolt of memory.
That's a long time ago, bro. I used to go there and get like formulas for like WWF Warzone to like make creative characters.
You know what I use now is for trails. There's this Neo Seeker is like another. It's sort of like GameFAQs, and I just use that. It's because they like give you stuff if you answer questions right and you do certain side quests and shit. So I want all the items because a lot of it's like just like weapons, not weapons. It's like the rings and shit that you need for like special moves or whatever. God, I'm watching my volume. It's pissing me off. This is pissing me off. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, go ahead, James.
You know, the worst part about it is like everybody that works there is probably younger than you guys.
That works where?
At GameFAQs or whatever.
Oh, I mean, it's a website.
I know.
Yeah. They probably have a staff.
And they're probably all younger than you.
Probably.
Scary. They probably don't even know what it is, really.
I mean, yeah, we're getting to that age where I'm noticing where like everyone's younger than me. Like I'm old now, man. I'm gonna kill myself soon. Because like I'll be watching TV, major like big actors, athletes, and I'm like, man, even like I don't know, yeah, I'm 37. Like it's over, man.
Bro, I'm 39 years old. Get the fuck out of here. You're still a baby.
Yeah, but you're still, dude. Yeah, but you're married and shit. You got married.
When's your 40th?
I got this big ass dick, dude.
His birthday just happened.
Yeah, it'll be February.
I know, but when will it be?
February 4th.
Oh, we're going to have to party.
Yeah,
the boy's gonna have to come to Florida.
Yeah, I need to do something.
Break edge, bro.
I need to do more traveling. That's one thing I saw dumb, like one of those fucking Facebook is really boomer town, and everybody that is my friend on Facebook is now a boomer because we're all old. And I'm like, you ever see someone and you're like, how are you old? You're my same age. Like, why are you posting old people memes? You know, like someone posted one and it was.
I feel like you're just talking about like my Facebook.
No, no, yours is like what I want to see on people's. It's like travel pictures. Like, hey, here's us in a mountain, you know, and you don't just. Like, you're not just like, here's a selfie of just my head and like a tree leaf, you know? Like, when people do that, I'm like, why the fuck do I want to see your dumbass face in front of what I want to see? Like, show me the mountain, you know? Yes, take a picture of you and your wife in front of the mountain. Or most of the time for you, it's like, here's my wife climbing and I'm taking the picture, right? That stuff's cool. It's when people are
Yeah.
like, "Here's me." Oh, but there's like kind of something behind me because I am somewhere, but it's more about me.
Yeah,
Here's
most
me.
of the frame is the head.
Here's my face.
Nothing else.
And I'm like, if you're only going to make the same face in every photo, please stop taking them. Like, if I have a friend who only takes the same picture every day in the same part of their house, and I like it gives me physical anxiety when I see it. I'm just like, I feel so embarrassed for them, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
They're
do.
good, bro.
So they have this option on Facebook now where you can like unfollow but not unfriend, and you'll never see them on your news feed again.
The thing is, though,
Yeah.
I've sent their photos to other people now
Oh,
to
jeez.
be like, oh look, they're in the same part of their house. Oh look, a different day, different shirt, same exact face.
Add me to that. I want to see it.
All right, I'll
Because
send you.
I know
You've
people
met
like
him
that.
too. You've met this guy, and it's
Oh God.
bad. It's bad, dude. It's bad. I'm like, I just want to be like, go
A
outside,
few
like
days later.
go meet someone. You're taking pictures of yourself. The thing about pictures is someone else is supposed to take them. Like,
Kind of,
like,
yeah.
look, a selfie is one thing, right? Like, especially if you're like, I haven't updated my picture of myself. Like, I'm gonna take a picture, and you're not like, my favorite is the one where you take a picture from the side, and you're like, I'm not looking, so it's like, this is what I look like if someone sees the side of
Yeah,
my
if someone
face.
took a picture of me.
I'm not trying to take a selfie.
Dude, this person took a picture hugging a stuffed animal, like pretending to sleep of themselves. And I thought,
yeah, those are always great.
oh no, we've gone too far.
Speaking of which, dude, there's a guy, an Apex player I follow on Twitch. That dude had 8,000 people watching him sleeping today.
What the fuck?
I was like, damn, this shit ain't even cool.
You know what
no
I've
more.
noticed, by the way? Ever since you told me about Hob cheating and doing all that stuff, his streams are getting less views.
Yeah, nobody he literally was just like using everything and was going on about how he's like, I'm gonna cheat if I can, and it's like, wait a minute, how long you been doing that and had that mindset?
Yep, I think I truly believe that people started like
I was watching when he did that, and people were like, it was like 50-50 people just like mad shitting on him like hard, and it was like day one of that was the day before Elden Ring released for everybody.
Well, that's the other
because it was
thing.
releasing that night.
That's the other thing is he was doing that at a time when, like, dude, you're ruining it for other people. Like, people just want to watch the beginning of the game. We've all seen it, right? Like, everyone's going to probably die off. Or, some people may not care. But, like you or me, we're going to watch and be like, oh, man, look at him fighting this guy, whatever, until I can play.
No.
Not watch him cheat. You're like, dude, you're supposed to be the best. That's like,
right.
I stopped watching him, and I watch Epic Name Bro, and he's doing the bow-only build because he's truly a great Souls player. That's like, he wrote the fucking gameplay
he wrote the guide
for Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2.5. But yeah, sorry to go off on a tangent on pictures, but
no, man, you're good.
but so the Facebook boomer meme I saw was just like a guy in a cubicle with a calendar of a beach and the like 4 panels of it, and he was older and older each time they died. And I was like, man, that's such a boomer meme. And then I thought, but it's kind of true. Like, I just think about traveling and I never do it.
It's funny because I've noticed with my continuing aging, I'm like giving a lot less shits about so everybody's like super sensitive now, and that's making me probably even more like really want to state my opinion and hopefully piss people off. And like, man, like the thing at work that gets me the most is people that like go on about like, oh man, this sucks, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I mean, then quit. Well, I mean, I was like, you applied for the job.
Yeah.
Nobody's making you be here. Like, quit. If time is the most valuable thing, and if you don't like the way you're spending it, change it. You have the most power in doing that. Change it. Do not just sit and complain about it and watch your life go away. Like, change it. Change things.
Yeah.
Don't live beyond your means. I know we all need money, but you can downgrade yourself to change it, dude. Like, change it.
Yeah. Truth.
Yeah, that's fair. Though sometimes you're kind of stuck.
No, I get it. Like, there's the things where like like for me, for example, like I don't love the place I work, but am I going to find something that I have like a manager that literally lets me do the job because I know how to do the job better, and I'm in an office with somebody that like is cool about talking about video games and like we get along, you know? Like how am I supposed to like and go somewhere else and start new and everything
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
You know,
I
like
only say that
it's
because my previous job, I thought I was gonna be there forever because I was just like, nowhere will
right.
pay me close to this without a degree or whatever. And always say it, Keith saved my life, man. That's why like even my worst day at Gem Air, my job is the like 50 times better than my best day at my other job. Like
Yeah,
my worst day is me being upset with myself about something, like me or like feeling
right.
like I'm not living up to what I should be doing or whatever, like it's literally just night and day. And when I
I
was
mean,
there,
as
people would tell me like just change it. And I'm like, I literally can't. I don't have backup. Like
right.
I never had the
Well,
option to.
that's the thing though, but you give it the time. Like
Yeah, of
me,
course.
I'm going to change it, but it's going to take time. Like the
Yeah,
time I
yeah.
need to complete paying off a few more things before I can change to like a stupid job that gives me more time off so me and my wife can travel is the goal.
Yeah.
That's the next goal. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm going to work towards. And if that takes time of me just working at this place that is, whatever, like then that's what I've got to do to get to that next goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And I did start my own business and shit and I tried, but I was getting stuck. So and I'm not here to be like you're wrong. I'm just saying like sometimes people would tell me like just make a change. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Like I have to pay my bills,
Well,
bro.
it's I think it's identifying that not everything could be an instant change. As long as you have the goal of the change you want to make in mind and you can work towards it. I do think try to make the change, Doesn't
Yes.
have to be instant. You don't want to do it like stupid and make things like worse for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And I wasn't also complaining about my job. I would complain not at work.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the secret. Like when you're just there and then other people are like, well, now you're making my view of my own job like feel like shit. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, real world shit. Gross.
Anyways, what have you been up to?
So yeah, James's week. Minute. That's
Week.
the new drop right there. Yeah.
Week.
I'll start with the things I have watched. I haven't watched shit but like my common stuff with me and the wife, like This Is Us or like Saturday Night Live or yeah. But we did start a John Wayne Gacy documentary on Netflix, 3 episodes, about an hour each. Man, like I've heard the name, didn't really know much about the dude at all, like nothing. Just heard the
Wait,
name,
you didn't know
knew it had to
John
do with
Wayne
killing.
Gacy?
I didn't
Yeah,
know
Oh.
like
that's
happened.
Leatherface.
No.
No.
Leatherface is
Ed Gein.
Ed Gein. Yes. John
Ed
Wayne Gacy
Gein.
was the killer clown.
Yes.
And he
My
owned a
bad. Ed
KFC.
Gein is Leatherface.
The best part of it is he fucked a lot of boys that he worked with at KFC and then killed them.
Yeah, so it's been very interesting, and like they're getting to like the only problem with the documentary I will say is there's a couple times where they kind of like switch from like where they're at, because he had like a previous like rape conviction like before all the murder stuff happened, like years before. I went to jail for like not even a year. I think he got out. And so they kept kind of going back to that, but then they would like have interview things of like around the case, so it got a little confusing with that. But now everything's like kind of to the case, and like they're uncovering the bodies under his house, and it's nuts. This dude is, we've done 2 of the 3 episodes, so we have 1 left, and it's just crazy because the whole time like it really led me to think there was only like 4 or 5, and this is, keep in mind, like I know nothing about it, so I'm like, they just keep talking about these 4 or 5 people that were missing, and then they get to where they're like actually like uncovering bodies, and it's like
There's
already
like
over
20 or
20.
some shit.
No, they're like the last there was just like one day that they basically got to 20 in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And they kept going.
It was
Yeah, I think
insane.
that's-
He had 36, I want to say. Something crazy like that under his crawl space. And his house apparently smelled insane.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking at the end of the episode, the second episode, about how he like threw one in the river, I think, too, and like there's one in the concrete in the garage, and like there's other places still. It's nuts. So yeah, and this dude's like completely like open about it and everything. So yeah, I definitely recommend it if you don't know anything. I'm not a fan of anything being like a full hour a lot of times. Just because I am one of those people that has slowly had a decreasing attention span, and it's just like I kind of want to like stop. Even if I'm gonna watch the next episode, like I need the breaking point to where I can get up and do, like just take a breather to be earlier. So yeah, I know I can pause, but whatever. And then so the other cool thing is I have officially signed up for Crunchyroll. I have premium access to all that it is offering.
Welcome to Otaku Town. That's where we live, is in Otaku Town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got it. I got it because I wanted to watch Attack on Titan, because I've been hearing really great things about it wrapping up and just overall everything about it. And I got on there and I was like, oh, Demon Slayer, I'll add that to my list. I saw it on there. I was adding stuff that I've watched or am working on or plan to watch. And Demon Slayer's on there. I go to add it and I'm like looking through the episodes and I see, don't kill me, everybody I know, subs, whatever. I'm a dub guy.
Who cares? Yeah.
But yeah, so Demon Slayer season 2 is on Hulu, but they only have the subs on there. While I get on Crunchyroll, I had no idea that dubs are already out on season 2, and I cheered with joy and started Demon Slayer season 2. I've already watched the Train movie because I bought it separate because I really do love Demon Slayer. I think it's great. It's up my alley for everything it's like kind of got so far. Like, I like the little elemental addition to all their sword movements and stuff. So I think the animation's beautiful. And yeah, I think it's great. Love it. Still a little confused why the guy, the Princess how do you say it? Mononoke. Why is the what's with the pig-headed character showing up in different things?
What do you mean? The guy wearing
like
the pig
warthog
mask?
pig head thing.
That's
like,
probably
that same looking characters like in that movie, and they are so far away from each other.
It's
Like,
probably
is this like
just
a thing?
I don't know specifically, but it might just be some kind of like mythical creature, or it might be a thing that is in culturally.
It's like the exact same design, like shirtless with 2 swords, I think, and everything. It's just I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
I didn't know if anybody knew if that was a thing. If anybody does know,
probably,
shout out.
it's probably just
podcast.
It's probably something from history. There's probably a famous
Inosuke Hashibira. That's the name of the guy.
You know, the guy I hate is the dude who
the crybaby.
His name's Zenitsu, the crybaby guy. He's like, and then he falls
and then
asleep.
He turns into like Neo and like obliterates everybody like a beast. I don't know. Yeah, the crying was pissing me off the first season. He hasn't really done it much in the second season, but it just started. So
yeah,
or it just started for me.
In Mononoke, there's a boar clan, but it's not the same guy.
No, I know it's not the same guy. It's just that same design keeps coming up.
Yeah,
I think I've seen it referenced or like the exact same thing in another thing I've seen. It's I don't know. There's got to be something as to why it keeps coming up, I think.
Yeah.
But.
Word.
Let's see. So yeah, Crunchyroll. Video games wise, I have been playing a lot of Apex Legends. I can't help it. It's good.
Man, let me just say, we played a game and you got us our win on our first round in duos, and it was a good one. It was a real good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, man, it's all about how you do your rotations and, using your abilities and being patient. You got to play the fight out. And we played some fights very well in that one, and it worked out. Made good rotations, got good positioning for the final round or circle, and just basically had just the upper hand on the last two teams the whole time.
The secret is I just listened to you were like, go do this thing, and I did exactly that. You were like, all right, we're gonna go this way, and then you were like, okay, shoot these guys over here, and that's exactly. And I almost fucked us because I ran away, or ran in on these guys, but for some
The
reason,
rock, I was
they
like,
didn't.
get the hell out of there.
They didn't turn. Well, the secret was I wanted to throw a can, and I thought I could get I thought I could get there closer, but it didn't. So then I was like, oh, maybe I can ult, and my ult was still on cooldown, and then I had to run back. But it was funny.
Yeah, because you were almost like right in between both of them. I was like, how are they not killing him right now? It was nuts. But yeah, I did play a Game Pass game, called Mighty Goose. It is what it sounds. You are a goose with a Mega Man like arm gun. It's a 2D platformer style Mega Man Contra Broforce kind of game. It's
cool.
stupid. It's been fun. I've beat it, rolled credits pretty quick, and it's got like continuation after that where you kind of play all the maps like mirrored and double the difficulty, I guess. So I've just been kind of playing that for fun. I don't know.
Nice.
I gotta I'm gonna do my darndest to make sure I stream Thursday, and man, the game I gotta pick a game. Like I gotta figure this shit out, man. There's so much to play, especially with Game Pass. Like I just go through there every once in a while, and I just like will download stuff, and then I'm like, yeah, but when are you gonna play that? Like, and then I get looking at them. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play Apex because I don't want to have to pick, so I'm gonna do that. But I have a game I bought a long time ago called The Sinking City. It's kind of like a horror, like not Resident Evil.
That's a Lovecraft game.
Yeah.
Wait, what game?
Yeah, it's the Sinking City. I
Oh.
almost bought it a few times, but I don't know if it's my speed. I think it's a little
I'm gonna
slower.
try it. I bought it, and it's got the Series X update to it and everything. So
yeah, it has a
I might try that out.
really great trailer. There was a really great trailer at E3 a couple years ago, where the guy gets like. It's like the trailer like eventually like kind of comes full circle, and it's like it kind of repeats itself. Like a guy gets dragged underwater by a tentacle, and then by the end of the trailer, it all comes around and like happens again. I don't know, but if you look up The Sinking City, it looks like a really cool Lovecraft game. It's on sale often, and I've almost bought it.
I think that's when I bought it. Was when it was on sale.
Yeah, I've almost bought it multiple times because it looks so cool. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a game like Vampire where it looks cool, but I don't think the combat and stuff's going to work for me personally.
I forgot we tried to play Vampire on Halloween, remember?
You played it.
Oof, magoof.
Yeah, but I'll probably check that out on Thursday night. Just I don't know. It looks good. So we might as well check it out and see so other people know in advance so that you don't have to buy it yourself.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, so besides that, I guess we can go into our multi-nerd review stuff, which would be Moon Knight and then The Northman.
Okay.
This is all you guys. I didn't watch either one.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a big old piece of shit.
We got Moon Knight episode 4. So I'll go ahead and just give my opinion on it. Again, I think I've said this last time. The acting is great. The like sets and
direction,
costume designs, everything, it's all great. I just don't care. Like, we're 4 episodes in. I'm still confused. They had a big twist in it, like kind of changing things up, and I still I just didn't care that much. Because it's taking so long, and I still don't know much about the characters, if anything, besides the like surface level stuff they've given us.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I really think it may be the directing on it. I don't know or the writing, but
it's got
to be the writing.
They're
we're
going
not
into
anything.
this right.
It's got to be the writing, because the acting is more on the director's side, and these guys didn't write it, but it's those same two guys did episode 2 and 4, and both of them are well done directing wise, and I think acting wise. And I actually liked this one better than the most that we've had, but yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I might be
that's where I'm
getting
at. Where
I might
it's
be getting
okay.
fatigued.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I might be getting fatigued. I think Marvel's starting to wear on me, because it's every month. Every single month we have a new thing to watch.
I think it really
this one doesn't feel very Marvel.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think they're trying to do that on purpose, though, because they're preparing for Deadpool to start making an appearance. They're
On
getting ready
Moon
to
Knight?
start. No, in the Marvel universe, they're going to start bringing. I think they're trying to make a slight shift to where there can be more adult type things in some of the movies where that applies. Because Daredevil's season 4, or maybe just season 1 of the. That's not gonna. They can't go like. They can, but they really shouldn't go like Disney with it. They need to keep it how we got it on Netflix, or at least close. And so they kind of have to start like blending that like more adult, a little more aggressive, edgier feel to it, to like kind of make a slower transition, maybe, instead of just like doing it.
I don't know, because they need that kid money. That's where most of their money comes from, is the monetization towards the children. It's fucking Disney.
But they're still going to get
Disney's
that.
whole thing is children. Like their whole that's all.
It's not anymore though. They when they bought Fox, things changed. They have to market to adults as well.
We'll see.
I
don't know.
So.
I like it a little more than what it sounds like you like. I mean, I don't know. I do think I like the Oscar Isaac a lot in it, and I want to see what's going on. But I mean, he's barely been Moon Knight. I don't even know what Moon Knight does.
It's just a suit.
Well, what I mean is I don't even know what his powers are. Like, we don't know enough, and I think they're dragging out the mystery. Like, by this point in WandaVision, we had a better idea of what was going on. Like, yes, they were still letting, the mystery kind of play out, but I don't know.
But there was hints throughout those first 3 episodes.
It's like they're trying to be
being
like
a little off.
Yeah, it's like this. They're trying to be like Indiana Jones meets
this episode. Yeah,
it's weird, right? And then all of a sudden it pulls the classic, like, oh, you've been in a mental hospital the whole time, but also you're not. And I kind of liked the I like the part where he like is in there and then he hears the fucking coffin rattling, and then he opens it and it's him again, and there's more. That's how you know something's not right, like whatever.
But like we've seen it before, type. It wasn't like Doctor or like Loki, where like we got some like new shit. We got like something we've seen in a different movie. They really gotta change it up, because it's really just getting too repetitive at this point. And I think that after I'm really have high hopes that Doctor Strange is gonna be different, but I'm really worried about Thor being like super cookie cutter.
Oh, I think Thor is going to be exactly what you think it's going. I think we could probably write what that movie is going to be, and it's just going to be that. And I think it's going to be fun, funny. I think it's going to be fun and a good time, and it's going to be good. But I think it's going to be 100% exactly what you think it's going to be, and you could probably write it. It's going to be. They're going to do a funny '80s Rocky montage of him getting fit again. So they'll probably start the movie with him fat and like being silly, and then like do a fun '80s montage. He gets fit, whatever, and then like there'll be a bad guy thing. I can already kind of just.
Well, he's doing the love not war thing too, so he's not going to fight anymore. He's going to lay down his weapon. He's going to be a lover. They're going to need him. And he's
But then
like, I
he's
don't
not going
do
to
that
be needed,
anymore.
and that's when Jane's going to show up, and I can already feel exactly what that's going to feel like, and it's just going to be. I just wonder who the villain will be. You know?
Oh, it's
Like,
Gore the God
They
Butcher.
already, yeah.
who?
Gore the God Butcher, and it's Christian Bale playing him.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be empty, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I'm
exactly
sure.
what the fuck you think it is. Doctor Strange, I hope, man, because Doctor Strange could also just be
A muddled up mess
cameo.
of
It could be
stuff.
cameo the movie. It could be
Yes.
their excuse to do a whole bunch of little vignettes and to finish a bunch of contracts with people they owe appearances to and be funny, or they could say, okay, we need, because this is where they have the opportunity. This whole dimensional Marvel universe shit happening. This is their one shot to begin whatever it is they start with. This is how we get X-Men. This is how we merge the Spider-Man movies, the other. Or this is where they just fuck it up and they just have an excuse to just fucking do cameos.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm also happy they haven't CGI'd Stan Lee into any of these. I hope they don't try
Yeah,
doing
no, they're
that.
not gonna do that. I don't think. But
Bro, am I the only y'all? You probably agree or have thought of this yourselves. I told the guy at work this. I 100% think they need to make Deadpool the new Stan Lee cameo. He needs to just be walking in the background. He needs to be eating a chimichanga.
That's
He
very
needs
funny.
to just. He sometimes can break the fourth wall, like, and say, "What's up, everybody," and then just leave, like, just something stupid.
Do something
know?
with him, even if, like, I don't know if we need Deadpool
It's
movies,
perfect
but
character. It's
or
the
like
perfect character.
maybe make a little short before the movies. Like, remember in the beginning of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they had
the
the
animated
baby
version though.
Yeah. But I think that would be pretty funny. Give him a little. I mean,
have him start doing like old Stan Lee cameos. Only it's Deadpool doing like exact same ones they've already done.
That'd be funny. Yeah, fuck it, just redo all the old ones with him.
Yeah,
I like that idea. I think that's pretty cool.
I will wait to see what happens with Moon Knight. I'm with you, James. Where it's like it sucks because there's so much like good going on. Like the acting's really good. All the set design's really nice. I like the CG looks good. It's all there. It's just I don't know what the fuck is going on. And like by this point, I want to know what's going on. Who was in the body? For a second, I thought, okay, Mark is like a spirit that someone put in it, like that. This Imhotep or Kakuman.
Who owns that? Yes.
Who's the original? That? Which one has a mom? Because Homeboy's been calling his mom and she won't answer. But there's a voicemail he's leaving.
That's gonna be a thing.
I just don't get it.
It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen is they're gonna introduce a third person in that body before we ever get any information on the other two.
God, you just
that'd be the last episode.
You just hurt my feelings. But yeah, let's talk about Northman. I think we'll
sound the horns as we seek Valhalla through the death of Iron Blade.
Oh,
yeah,
dude, this movie. You were right though. There's a lot of Green Knight in it. Like that little fox part is like a big Green Knight thing, which we'll talk about. But just before I forget, I was like, holy shit, this really is fucking Green Knight. But obviously, I think it's a little more actiony than that.
Yep.
I loved it, by the way.
I agree.
I'm gonna rate it outright just so I can talk about it. It's probably a 9 out of 10 for me. What do you got?
I think that's a fair score. I mean, I would have to watch it more to go any higher, but I don't know that I would go any lower. So yeah. I'll go 9 as well.
Some people, my wife said it was a little slow. She loved it too. She was just like, I just think it was slow. But I'm like, this is Robert Eggers. That's what he does. Like he makes beautiful.
It was an epic.
Yeah.
Like it's an epic.
And I didn't realize that this was based on a Norse myth that is like what Hamlet was based on, which makes sense.
Well, actually, so that's what some people definitely thought. There actually is a story of this character.
Oh, like real life?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's old writings. So the thing with Viking or Norse like information is all of it is accounts from like Christians or people that have interacted with them. There's not a lot besides like Swedish stuff that is actual like written by Viking like people. So you're getting accounts from like different, completely different points of view. But yeah, this actually his name and everything is like a written down like actual real person story. Now
Okay.
the source material had some questionable things in it of like actual factual stuff, a little embellished at times and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some of the things maybe a little, in the real story. Obviously this is a movie, so everything's going to be a little more embellished than like real factual things, but that's just how movies are.
Yeah, this has some great fantastical shit in it. Like it's beautiful. And I love Robert Eggers. I mean, I love The Witch. I loved The Lighthouse, and now I love this. So he's another one I am following. Like Ari Aster's, I think another big name in horror. And I think Robert, this isn't horror, but it does have some horrific
It
elements
has a
to it.
lot of elements.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to say, but it's fucking good. Like it's just a classic revenge film, but it does make you question all of it, right? Like there's so much to it, man. And Alexander Skarsgård was incredible.
Right.
And again, Ethan Hawke's in this. He's in Moon Knight as well, and he was great in this. He's only in it briefly. Nicole Kidman was great. Anya Taylor-Joy was great. Like everybody was good in this. And there's just it's funny because like not a lot happens, but a lot happens. Like it's interesting because it's so self-contained. Like we don't get like this guy goes like we know he went and like was rescued by Vikings, and then he becomes like a Viking raider, and then he hears about the guy he needs to get revenge on. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go do that now, and that's it. Like we don't see this like years long war of him with someone else, and then this, that, the other. Then he goes and he's a slave somewhere, and then no, it's like very contained, which I really like.
So yeah, shout out Nana. He had complained that it was advertised to be a very action-packed thing. I would argue for the style of movie it is, like it's like a movie like Green Knight. And when I say an epic, I mean it's like this story contained to one character, and like this story, like it's a tale of this just this story, and it's just very self-contained, like you said. And I think for that kind of a story, I think it was very action-packed. When you compare it to the style it's going for, which is like the Green Knight, where that one didn't really have any action in it, but you would have thought it maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also there's also like a lot of the content you get on like series like Netflix, like Vikings, the new show Vikings Valhalla, I think there's a couple others. They focus more on the late era Viking stuff, which has a lot more to do with like the Danes and when they were like raiding England and the fight for England and stuff. And this was actually, I believe, so I watch, if everybody doesn't know, I've done a DNA test. Turns out I'm partially Viking, like mostly.
100% that bitch.
Yes, sick. And definitely 100% that bitch. So I watched I follow some people on YouTube that are like actual like go to college for this shit. And the one guy I watched, he, reviewed this movie like right away and just talked about how it's like the most accurate Viking like content we've ever gotten, like historically.
Yeah.
And so like
cool.
What I was getting at is he was mentioning that this was prior to like the actual probably Viking era. Like the documented in history Viking era. So this was more like it's super self-contained to like one, like probably just Norway and like Iceland. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. In all these shows, you'll get like these wars and all these Viking battles and all this stuff, and it was just like we said a million times, self-contained and doesn't contain that. So I think a lot of people had in their mind, like they saw, ooh, Viking movie, and they, we're gonna get this huge shield wall of all these Vikings, and they're all gonna be, hitting each other with axes and screaming and being crazy. And it's not that.
No,
like, I will warn everybody, it's definitely not that. But with that said, this is still more accurate to real history, and you're going to get real stuff like the ritual of them transitioning to like being a berserker before fight combat.
Yeah, dude, that shit was cool as fuck.
Like super realistic. They didn't show them drinking. They usually would drink stuff before too, but they would do a ritual and they would wear like the headdresses, and they were more or less doing a ritual becoming the animal they were wearing, which was normally like a bear or a wolf. And that's them like transitioning that animal becoming one with them, and then they go to battle. You know what I mean? And that they showed that, it was so accurate, it's so cool. It's like super hyped up.
Yeah, there's a couple of dope ass battle scenes, and I don't know, it's bloody, like it's fucking brutal.
Yes. Yeah. So the thing that I appreciated big time, and I was unsure how they were going to do it, because if you watch the trailers, they do show like a Valkyrie and like potential like Odin and stuff like that. I feel like they've really found a good way to. They did it kind of both ways, where parts of it were visions, but then parts of it like were real things affecting like what was happening in the character's world.
Yeah,
like the ravens with Odin showing like towards the end, and like.
Dude, that was cool as fuck. And it's like, is it Odin or was it his dad? Because dad was like the Raven King or whatever.
Right.
Super cool. And
was that
Odin's
descendant of Odin
buddy too?
No, yeah, Odin has his two ravens. That's like his eyes or whatever. But super cool. Bjork was in it. Did you like her little part? Her accent was fucking awesome.
The seer, she was dope.
And isn't that the whole thing? Is like Odin like took her vision or something? That's like they mention it. Is like he gave his eye to be able to see.
Most seers do take their vision so they can see the will of the gods better.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So I mean, that's pretty common to be like that. But
dude, it was awesome. If you like that kind of mythology, it's super deep here. Like they show you a lot. And
I love like the burial mound thing when he's going for the magic sword. Yeah. And they like, at first when they mentioned the magic sword, I'm like, okay, so it's not really gonna like, they're like, it's a moon blade, so it only works at night, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, sure, that's not,
yeah, and like when it happens to him,
if this
you're
was
like,
a fantasy movie, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
But then the sword like actually doesn't come out of the sheath unless it's night and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, they're actually doing it.
Like when he does it the first time, you're like, oh, it's dawn, and then he says, I'm fated to kill him in a lake of fire. So you're like, oh, okay, it's like double way there, like it's not gonna work. Like it'll work at night if he's killing anyone else, but it won't work, whatever. But then the guy with no nose tries to do it. That shit was funny. Yeah, and that part was fucking cool. He fights like a zombie, and then he looks to the left, like you think there's another zombie, and it like cuts over, and it's him, and it was like a vision. Like he had to beat the will of this thing.
So the way the guy I watched broke that down, he's like, this was very much so like reminiscence of like they really believed in like these spiritual dimensional type of things, and like he's like, that was like super cool to see them having a like spiritual out of this dimension like fight with a thing in his mind, more or less. Over this thing that like he probably didn't want to do because it was the burial site of somebody, and it's kind of disrespectful or whatever. But like I don't know, I thoroughly love this movie. I highly recommend it. and like I said, I watched some stuff and they are all like praising this for being very historical accurate. I do think the costuming was it was potentially a little off, especially if this was pre-Viking era, but it didn't really take me out of anything. I will say your boy ain't gonna be fighting naked in a volcano anytime
Hell
soon.
no. I was really, so spoilers for everything. I mean, we've spoiled a little bit of this, and it's you know what this story is. It's basically Gladiator, but
Yeah.
in Viking time. I just was hoping he wouldn't die, like, because there was
Yeah,
that
me too.
moment where they have that moment, and I really loved that he was like gonna leave. He was like, "Fuck it," like, I never thought I'd be with anyone and find anyone to care about, but whatever. And then he finds out she's pregnant. He's like, I have to do this, or he will not stop until he kills my kids.
Yeah.
And like him saying, I was told I'd have to choose between, kindness for my kin and hatred for my enemies. I choose both. It's like, yeah, he has to do it out of kindness for his babies. Man, it was fucking good.
I like that he had like the little like vision of the tree continuing on and stuff. Like just all that stuff is like super lore based and really cool. Like the Valkyrie and all that stuff.
I like that the Valkyrie had braces though.
Yeah, he said something. I have to watch it again. He mentioned something about them having like the notching in the teeth or something. There was something to that.
Okay, there's probably like words. It's not. It just looks like braces. It was
I don't
really
know.
funny.
It looks like braces, 1000%.
Yeah, I doubt it's
Like,
actually
that's
braces.
somebody with braces. Okay. A little interesting, but okay. Yeah, I loved it. It was a beautiful looking movie. Like I said, very lore accurate, Viking accurate. I you're not going to get these big epic Viking war battles, but I think you get some amazing like fighting and combat and like horror elements in a way. Like
Alexander Skarsgård's so intimidating looking. Like the way he walks, even when he's in slave mode, and like for the rest of the movie, it's like his head's down. You know what I love too is when both times when his like the bad guy's first oldest son is like, what evil is this? And he's like freaking out. And then the father's like later when that kid's in, he's like, who did this? What evil is this? Like, I was just thinking, how destroyed were their voices? Like, think about how much Alexander Skarsgård screams like an animal.
It
was wild.
Yeah, he reminded, like, I was getting like old man like Bruce Wayne Batman vibes, like with him brooding around. Like his shoulders were so like puffed up and like I was like, dude, this dude's like brooding so good.
He was jacked beyond belief.
Oh, 100%. Do you notice the mountain in there from Game of Thrones and stuff?
Yeah. That was a cool scene too. And
the little sport thing they play. Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad that kid died. I'm not gonna lie. He was annoying, and like he was like the opposite. And let me tell you, the fucking reveal of his mom was wild to me. Like,
I know.
I was not like that whole scene. I was like, what did she want to happen here? She's like begging him to kill her, and then he does, and she says, "Thank you," like for going for the heart, which I don't understand.
I think it was freedom from being. She was a slave. Like, spoilers. Major spoilers, really, kind of in a way. Sorry. But she was a slave, and she's basically been living a life of always doing and being what other people wanted, and it was just finally having that freedom from everything. And technically, she died by a blade, so she would be going to Valhalla. So.
I felt so bad in the end because you realize that the uncle was actually not a bad dude.
Like, he was just kind of manipulated.
Yes,
more
he was
or less,
in love,
like.
and he thought, and I mean, seemingly, she was not lying. Like she was never treated with love. She was a slave taken by like a Viking king, who was forced to bear a child she didn't love. So this guy was like in love with her, and clearly
That's
he was.
The thing, like. Yeah. The whole story being a revenge story, and then she just doesn't even give a shit about it.
Yeah, and like, she's like, I hated you. I was forced to have you. Ugh. And then she like tries to fuck him, but I think she's trying to kill him at that point. Where like, isn't she like reaching for his sword, and then he like cuts her hands?
Yeah. That's just her trying to make a tactical move.
Yeah, I love that he's like, I won't kill a woman and then he immediately kills her. But I mean, you
So
can tell it's like a reaction from him. It's like instinct. It's not like he purposely does it.
Right. And that's actually like super accurate. He said like he said some things were off about it because he's like with Viking lore, like, and like the history, like they were treated like men or older men, women, children, and even their slaves as like they were like treated them very, very well. Like Vikings treated all those very well, like would not kill women, children. Like in raiding situations, it was a little different, but like in their communities, like they were all kind of like equals more or less, except for like warriors were kind of on a little bit of a pedestal, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said the last thing you said
saying.
was warriors were kind of like on a pedestal.
Respected and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So they were held higher. Like all that stuff was very accurate. That like they were actually like were never like like mean to women or even slaves. He said even the way they showed the interaction with the slaves in the movie was actually a little wrong because they would actually like frown upon Vikings being other fellow Vikings being like mean to their slaves. Like they just looked down on that. And so it was very interesting. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I
loved it.
It's great. I loved every second of it. I was entranced. Like it's just one like the Lighthouse was the same for me where like the story of the Lighthouse is kind of confusing and there's a lot going on, but I was just like mesmerized. Like he just Robert Eggers just know, and whoever he works with as his DP, they just know how to capture magic. Like
yeah.
It's just insane. But yeah,
my wife kind of said the same thing as yours did about she said it felt a little long. I was like, for me, it didn't. Like, I was just entranced by was just like,
dude, I had pit stains. I was so into it. I was like so excited.
Yeah.
I was like sweating. And I loved, you know what's great too is that's how you knew he was in love is when he's like, I have to leave, and I was like, why would he leave her there? They know he fucks with her, like whatever, to his girlfriend. But then the second he's like, because he's been watching, like he's not just gonna leave. He's like in the hills spying and doing the second they're like gonna hurt her, he's like, all right, fuck it, like I'll give you your fucking shitty son's heart if you fucking let her live. And then she runs and you see him look like, fuck, she's leaving me. Like she used me for a second. Like I don't know the way he sees it.
Oh, he went in to get her out.
Yeah,
I think the whole time.
I don't know. I just
he
felt
told
like he
her to
looked
run
sad
as soon as she had a chance. So.
Oh, maybe he was sad because he was like, I'm not going to see her again. But he wanted this, like he.
Yeah, I think he assumed he was going to get killed.
Okay, maybe that I misread it, but then she fucking, I don't know. I just was like, yeah, that's a ride or die right there, bro. That's like, and to me though, he's like, they'll never stop hunting. It's like, dude, there's no way they're gonna fight. Go live in the fucking woods. You're a Viking, and she's like a oak witch or whatever she calls herself. Like, just go live in the forest. They'll never find you, and you're a Viking. You'll kill them. But
I do love when he like they get the heart off of him. He's like, how do you know that's your son's heart or just a rabid dog or something? I'm like, yeah.
Yep. It's great. It's a great movie. Everyone should go see it. I want more movies from Robert Eggers, so like please go see it. This has been a good, we've had a good couple of years of movies, man. Like we're having a renaissance when it comes to like film, I think. If you think about the 2000s, there's like way less like the 20-aughts, and then the 2010s it starts to come back, but like man, there's some stinkers. There's some years where it's just stinkers across the board.
I think a lot of it too, like I've noticed for me, like the push for romantic comedies has died down.
That's what the 2000s was.
The theater.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's that 2000s time where it's like, let's put Dane Cook in every movie and they're all bad. And let's make the same movie over again, like goofy guy meets a super hot girl and she likes him, but he doesn't get it. It's like, no, let's let a Viking cut people's fucking heads off. Like, yeah, it was great. So it's great. I knew I was gonna love it because I love Robert Eggers, but like this was great, and it was a lot more constrained than I thought it was gonna be. I actually kind of liked that it was lower key, like it's lower stakes story. It's just a guy, like he doesn't even get his kingdom back, like he's not even trying to. You know what I mean? It's not this like epic scope or like I will be the king in the north or whatever.
Right. He mentions that too. He's like, he mentioned at one point that his first step was just to revenge. Like he didn't know where his thread went after that.
Yeah.
Or if his kingdom, he's like, the kingdom may be a thing after this, but I have to complete this first. And I was just like, yeah, that's focus. That's a man that's focused right there. He's determined to.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's really good. So if you love movies and you like Vikings, go see it. That's what I say. Next movie I'm excited for is obviously Doctor Strange, and then Nope. I'm really excited for Nope.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Nope's just gonna be aliens. Like I think we're just gonna get a good alien
100%.
horror movie. Like I'm glad about that.
We're getting Jordan Peele's science movie, basically.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
because they show like a bunch of weird shit, like his movies always have, but. This looks like they're just weird things. Like that lady's face,
Yeah.
I don't think she's like an alien. That's just a burn victim. You know what I mean? Like the one who looks up and then like the cloth ripples and like then they cut to he's like, "What's a bad miracle?" They got a word for that, and there's like a horse in a glass case with a guy with like the suit on. But that's just the kid from Walking Dead. Like, I think it's just tricky edits for this.
Well, you also got to remember that they see the one of the tricky things I think may happen. They say it at the beginning of the trailer how they're like Hollywood's only black run horse farm or whatever. So I think we're seeing clips of like filming of actual movies out on their place too. Like the guy in the glass case and stuff, like some of the other shots I think are actually like people working out there. And then there's also going to be like real alien shit going on.
Yes, you're right. I don't know, man. I'm just into it, and I love like all of it. It looks so gorgeous. I don't know. I'm just like, I didn't love Us, but goddamn, Get Out was incredible. So I'm still here for Jordan Peele, and Us was okay. It was just not up to the same standard for me as Get Out was. But
I'm also really love the name. It's just Nope.
Yeah, just
like
Nope.
If I saw aliens, I'd be like, Nope.
Exactly. Yep, that's when you're like, nope. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill myself immediately. Goodbye.
Right.
All right, let's jump into the news and then get the frick out of here, mother frickers.
So news time. There's a couple stories here. Outriders World Slayer trailer drops for a big Outsiders update. I think it's going to be... No, price hasn't dropped for it.
It's DLC, and they actually did like a whole presentation with some gameplay stuff. Some of the weapons they're going to be bringing to it, armor sets. I think there's a whole new ability class. And then there's like end game additional stuff, like more levels, harder different. Like, so they have these world tiers that you could go up to 20 on, and now to be 40. Like,
that's
they're progressing everything. Yeah,
I was just saying,
play past 6.
I was saying we got all the way. We did all of it, and I was just saying the hardest thing we did was that fucking end game boss. Like the last boss, it took us an hour and 17 minutes. It was. And by the end, we were on stream and we were just like, this is boring. Like it just keeps happening. Like
the thing is like it does if you play it on world tier like 3, it doesn't actually affect the loot.
Yeah, we are dumb. We did it on the highest tier, and it's just this boss. He keeps summoning ads over and over again, and you have to kill them all to then shoot him. And like, dude, he did it 40 times.
Aaron's not being dramatic. It was an hour and 17 minutes of one fight.
That's not a random number. That was our exact number. I remember because when we were done, you were like, that was an hour and 17 minutes. And then we did it again on one of our second characters, and we did it on World Tier 1 and did it in 1 minute. Like, just literally, he didn't even get to spawn anything. It was so funny. But I loved Outriders. That game, it was like my game of the year last year, even though it didn't come out. Like, I loved that game. Yeah.
Yep.
And what I'm noticing now is there's just no good co-op games anymore. Like, that's one thing Elden Ring does right, is the co-op's really easy, and I think it's good. I do wish you could just purely drop into another person's world and go everywhere, and have horses. God damn it! Let us have our horses.
Yeah.
They have to do that for PvP, which I'm like, I'm of the mind like, fuck PvP, get rid of it. I don't care. Like, don't let me invade. Don't let people invade me. Let me duel if I want to duel and do arena shit, whatever. But like, don't limit my gameplay because people need to come in and kill me, you know?
I think they should have took advantage of having the big world like they did. And you know how there's those like half arenas or whatever?
Yeah.
I thought for sure they would just make those PvP arenas. Like just make
Yeah.
it where you can walk up to the door and that's how you summon into a PvP fight with people.
Yeah.
That might be,
But
like that Coliseum might end up being a PvP area.
but you already
There's
know.
multiple.
Yeah, there's 3. Or 2. There's one in the capital. No, there's 2.
Two or
There's
three, yeah.
2 or 3. Yeah, but you already know, and the one behind the giant jar. So there's 3.
Yep.
You already know. A lot of people don't want duels. They just want to fuck people's day up. Like they just want to be
that's
true.
cheesy. And those people, that's why I'm like, fuck them. I don't care about that. Like they don't deserve a mode where they get to do that. Like people who want a PvP and just like have a decent fight and test out their skills, go to the Coliseum. Because
It'd be
invading,
cool if they did like tournaments in there where like they just set it up where it like waits on like 8 people to spawn in and then it's like a tournament that runs on its own.
3 has something like that. Dark Souls 3 has a full-on PvP mode.
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell you, but if you go into the multiplayer settings, there's a PvP mode. Where
And
you just get matched up with people to PvP. There's custom arenas that they built for straight up just for PvP, and you just go PvP shit.
well, Dark Souls 1 had it
Penis versus penis.
after they had the Artorias of the Abyss DLC. In that area, there's like a place.
Oh yeah, there's different flames that you can walk up to.
Yep. But yeah, Outriders was great. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump back in and probably start it all over. Like we played it a lot. Like I was playing it nonstop, and then I burnt out, and that's not even not even bad. Like they don't need you. Like they don't care if you're. It's not made to be persistent forever. Like they give.
And
content.
I don't even know that we burned out though. Like I think it just became useless grinding because we just didn't really need anything.
Yeah, we like topped out, I think is more the thing. And then I was like, I could do it on alts, but I like the class I picked. Like I really liked that class. I played other ones and they were fun, but it just synced with me, Like I just was like when I played the other ones, I'm like, I want to throw my turret down and I want to do whatever I'm doing. So yeah.
Right.
So we got some cancel culture news. let's head over to the cancel culture desk. That's you, Jesse. You're at the cancel culture.
What
desk.
CBS? The CBS shit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not cancel culture.
No, I know. I'm kidding. That's the joke. I don't believe in cancel
culture. Basically, CBS piece of shit is trying to silence Angry Joe. So Angry Joe's a reviewer. If you don't know, I think he's got like 3 million followers or something like that, and he does pretty well. He makes long form reviews for games. I used to watch his stuff. It's a bit cringy, but I mean his videos are all right. He does a decent job. He pretty deeply reviews games and reviews movies and stuff.
I'll say I like him. He's a bit over the top, but I like the 3 of them now. Like he has other Joe as his cousin or whatever, and then the other dude, when they do a review, they talk about it in depth, which I like. Like when he used to do his like big long ones and it was just him standing in front of the news thing, sometimes those could get a little grating, But now it's a lot of times it's just those 3 because they'll usually review big ass games all at once because they'll be like Horizon and Elden Ring together, So they had to do them back to back, and I like those. I like his 2. All 3 of them have different opinions, and they I like that their viewpoints are covered. I think they're decent. But yeah, he is a bit of an edgelord, when it comes to a lot of stuff. But he'll
take his time because he just put out his Elden Ring review like last week.
Yeah, same with Horizon.
Like, yeah. But basically, good.
He's just like a relic from the time when he started, right? He's 2009 YouTube. Like he stays with that flavor. So you have to be okay with that.
Theme song is like a chiptune version of All That Remains 6.
Yeah.
But so basically he's been reviewing Halo, the TV show, and he doesn't like it. Big whoop, dude. He's an IP critic. He's not it's not like he's putting videos out saying this is the worst show ever, but he's not really liking the show too much and he's giving his reviews. So CBS is claiming all his videos and trying to stop him from putting his reviews out and claiming that he's illegally using footage from the show, and he's been resubmitting and cutting his shit up cutting it down completely, and responding back with like, "Hey, you fucks, like this all completely falls under free use. I'm just reviewing your show." So he did a kind of edgelord thing. I don't have the whole quote in front of me, but he did a thing where he's like, "You don't want to mess with me," like that kind of shit. When people are like, "Oh, I'm not the one to mess with," CBS, multi-trillion-dollar company, but it's a shitty thing, man. It's a shitty thing for like, more giant corporate bigwig.
He said, well, they don't have the pure quote, but it says, during the video, Angry Joe expressed his frustrations with CBS after editing the review multiple times to conform to CBS's guidelines and warned the company that he would take it to court if the re-upload sees a copyright claim. Joe went on to accuse CBS of abusing YouTube's fair use policy and stated that he wasn't intending to let CBS, quote unquote, push around himself or other channels anymore.
Yeah. So but it's true. Like, it's good that, good on him, because he could have just said, "Fuck it, man. I make enough money," or whatever, or "Fuck you, pay me, and I won't do it." But he's gonna go battle because he makes the wrong step, and this could fuck him pretty bad. But I don't think so, because he's not gonna lose that, man.
No.
Like, they're not gonna redefine the fair use agreement because CBS is pissed off that he's giving their mediocre show mediocre reviews. They're just pissed because they think, this guy's got 3 million people watching a video saying, fuck, Halo's not that good. Not gonna lie, man. If I've been hearing that Halo is incredible, I probably would sign up for Paramount Plus for a free trial and maybe let it recur one time and pay for it. Like, shit, I paid fucking shitty Screambox $5 to watch Freddy's Nightmares piece of shit crap show. And so his reviews may be swaying some people. They may be losing some money, but they're probably not losing that much. But it's just pretty dick that giant corporation bigwig buddies are out here trying to fuck people over, man.
All right, I have the article up for the next one. So, there's just some news that came out about Amy Hennig's dismissal from Naughty Dog and how it changed Uncharted 4.
Yeah, so Uncharted 4 was apparently something completely different when she was working. Amy Hennig, she actually goes all the way back to like Soul Reaver, like Legacy of Kain 2 Soul Reaver. I believe she like wrote that or worked on that. And she's the reason why, like, she's a big part of Uncharted, and she's a huge game writer and stuff like that. And like with Uncharted 4, they got rid of her. They never really said what it was. They're like, "Oh, Amy Hennig just decided to leave in the middle of doing Uncharted 4 when she did the entire series." And apparently they had to like rewrite the entire game because they just basically took everything she did and tossed it.
Yeah, so I'll read the quote. So Nolan North, who voices and does the mocap for Nathan Drake, said, "The biggest thing that most people probably remember is we had shot Uncharted 4 with Amy Hennig for about 7 months. We were well into the game, and she was dismissed from Naughty Dog, and they got rid of everything we did. They recast the whole thing. The original cast had Graham McTavish, Cutter, McTavish's character last seen in Drake's Deception, had a huge role in Amy's 4. Todd Stashwick played Sam, and Alan Tudyk was Rafe, but they ended up switching it all out. Troy Baker came to play Sam, and they added Nadine for Laura Bailey. Fans don't always know, but that's the business," North added. "I was just glad they didn't just scrap the whole thing and say it's done. We're done."
Yeah.
So then she went on to Visceral Games to work on Star Wars, which then got canceled.
Yeah. So she went to Visceral Games, and for like, man, they were working on the Star Wars game for years or some shit, and then they canceled it. And now she's got her own studio. I forgot what it's called. It's called like Spirit Box or some shit. Skydance. And they've got Marvel and Disney deals, which is very crazy. So they're working on so she's getting to
So they're calling this
they have Marvel and Star Wars deals.
Yeah, so
they have a Disney deal basically. So she's working on a Star Wars game. Go ahead.
They're making a narrative-driven action-adventure game featuring an original story in the Star Wars galaxy. It says Amy Hennig is heading this. Legend, whose credits include the blockbuster series Legacy of Kain, Jak and Daxter, and Uncharted. So I don't I didn't play any of them other than Uncharted 2.
No, but yeah, basically she's good at making video games.
Yeah.
So that's pretty gangster. It's even smaller. I didn't put a link, but they're also working on a fucking Marvel game. They have a writer and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty nuts, man. I mean, if anything, she's a good source for video games. So we'll see what it is. It's super rare. Skydance has nothing out, but they've got all these major giant video game deals right now. So let's just hope that they don't.
Hey, she's a great
You know?
writer. Like, I've not played all the games, but I played Uncharted 2, and it was awesome. And, I know Legacy of Kain. I have friends who are
Yeah.
obsessed with the lore in those games. Like, apparently the story of Soul Reaver is
It's a
incredible.
cool story.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and
I'm glad
Uncharted
she's...
2, I mean, that's a special case. That's like one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's...
For its time. It's
yeah,
one
like
of
when
the
you
best
play it
games
now, you're like, okay, it doesn't play great, but the story's still good, and
Yeah.
whatever. At the time
And
it
also
came out,
at the time it came out, there'd never really been like it was a big deal when it came out. The storytelling and all that shit. Like Uncharted 2 was a huge deal in video games when it came out.
yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully some gangster shit pops off with Skybox.
Yeah.
Yeah, next one, TMNT Cowabunga Collections coming out soon. That's the 13 Ninja Turtle games collection that's coming out. So they announced the $150 collector's edition at Target, and it immediately sold out. So that kind of sucks. Yeah. And it's just a physical version of the game, and then it brings like, I think some trading cards, a set of pins, but the main thing is it brings a book. It brings probably like 150-page art book, which is pretty nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care about the Ninja Turtles anymore, but I mean, that would still be a nice thing. What bums me out is most likely those things are just gonna end up on the internet for $300.
Right.
Like that's all that's gonna happen is they're just gonna get scalped.
Yeah.
But
I'm super excited for that to come out. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. So God of War Ragnarok update.
I have the quotes up for that as well if you want me to read them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you want, go ahead and read the quote. Cory Barlog came out on 420, which is the 4th anniversary of God of War coming out, and he put an announcement out.
So he said, so in a video posted to his Twitter on Santa Monica Studios account, Barlog, which is so close to Balrog, change your name, dude.
Yeah.
Corey Balrog is a cool name. Shows appreciation to the fans who have so enthusiastically enjoyed God of War, joining Kratos and Atreus on their journey. So he said, "It is your support that allows us to keep doing the things we love to do." And then he segues into the elephant in the room, God of War Ragnarok. At the present time, Sony Santa Monica Studio doesn't have anything too significant to share, but Balrog reassures fans that the team is hard at work making something special. He shared details surrounding the current state, stating, "We are perfectionists. Everyone's tightening up the graphics on level 3. There is so much going on right now that I just wish we could share with you, but it's not ready to be shown." I mean,
so really quick, tightening up the graphics on level 3 is a industry joke.
Oh, okay.
That's a quote. That's a quote from Grandma's Boy.
Oh, okay, I remember that now. But yeah, like
it just means like we're working on the game.
Yeah. And it's not even been that long. People are like freaking out. That's a fucking huge game to make in 4 years. And you got to think 4 years is when God of War came out. It's not that long ago. Like they didn't just immediately start. Yeah, they didn't immediately start working on 2. They probably had to do patches and fix up bugs and shit.
I feel like they announced it like right away though.
Yeah.
I think they announced it like a year and a half later maybe.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, I don't know, it seems fast, like more power to them.
I gotta play that game.
So,
It's on PC
so
now. I should stream that.
God of War?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I've been thinking I want to play it. I think I might want to try to platinum it, but I do kind of want to play it. But more with the thing is, so a lot of people thought it was a response to David Jaffe because I forgot what it was. David Jaffe says David Jaffe was saying some shit like, "Oh, it's definitely not going to come out." David Jaffe created God of War, but after a while, I don't think he got to keep it. Sony probably kept it. Or some shit like that. No, he created Twisted Metal, and I think he's the guy who like did God of War in the beginning. So there's a possibility of what this might actually be about. So the motion capture actor for God of War, the guy who captured all of the mocap for all of Kratos' actions, he recently was arrested for having inappropriate sexual communications with a minor across state lines.
No.
So basically, he was probably sexting with a minor. But so
Bro,
basically, I
okay.
think they're thinking,
Here's the
"Hey, man, go ahead."
and I was gonna say, here's the like. There's so many adults in the world. Like I
No,
get
hold
it
on, hold
that
on,
I get it
stop.
that it's not the like it's
Hold
not
on,
like
because
access or go ahead.
yeah, hold on though, because so well, the guy comes out and is completely open and transparent. He's like, "Look, I'm working with the police to clear my name. Like, this is bullshit. There's nothing there. Who knows what the fuck this is? Hopefully, the guy didn't do anything, and it's a misunderstanding. Because remember, this guy, who knows? But he did get arrested for it, for communications with. So whatever it is, it's like what it sounds like is inappropriate messaging on the internet. Now, he just did the mocap. It's not like the guy's in the game. It's not the voice. But if you imagine the fucking internet, people are just going to be like, they're just going to keep relating the animations to sexual predator guy. And so I'm wondering if they have to. Well, I'm not the only one wondering. This is obviously something that some people in the gaming sphere are talking about. Like, oh, coincidentally, this guy who did all of the mocap for Kratos has just got in trouble for some sex shit. And I wonder if they're like, dude, we cannot come out with all these memes and shit. What if they have to fucking remocap the entire Kratos suite of animations? That's what some people think it might be. And honestly, it probably should be that, because if like the internet really sucks, man. Like, and no offense, sorry to this guy, if it comes out 1,000,000,000% shadow of a doubt that he did nothing and he was at church that day and he's 100% innocent, Sony still has to get his name off this game, and he'll probably never work again.
That's annoying. But if it's not fake.
No, hopefully, either way, it sucks. You know, hopefully it's fake, because hopefully nothing what wrong was done to a minor. But if even if it is fake, this guy's life is over, because you already know how it goes. Even if you're accused of something and you're found innocent, the stigma and the stink of the accusation is bad enough to where your career is now gone, and Sony would have to remove his name, even if he was innocent, because Sony can't risk having that relation. So there's a possibility that this might be related to the delay. Or to this little weird thing, like, oh, it's gonna come out, but hold on, we're working on it. And the weird thing is, if it's not, then like, ugh, you know, like,
Yeah.
is this going to? If it turns out that it was true, it's more like, how annoying are the memes gonna be? Because, like, I mean, it's not like the guy's modeled after Kratos is modeled after him or his voice, but I guess he did the mocap, so we're gonna feel bad watching the animations, I guess.
Especially with his son.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
well, I think Loki's a little. Oops. I think Atreus, is that his name, Atreus? Yeah, I think he's a little bit older in this game. So yeah, two more. We'll do the last one first. So Ubisoft may be the next company up for sale. So basically, private equity firm kind of confirms it, or basically looking at a bunch of significant game delays and shit. It looks like Ubisoft right now is being kind of parsed out on a table. People are looking at it, so
Interesting.
somebody may buy Ubisoft. I mean, now is when I'm thinking like enough's enough, kind of. Because I'm not saying like, oh, hope
Right.
Sony gets it or I hope Xbox gets it. Like, man, Ubisoft is a really huge third-party company. Like, I don't want to see either console lose access to their mediocre ass games. You know what I mean? Like, it's Ubisoft. I like Ubisoft games, but their games are like all pretty formulaic and from the same engine. Like I like the engine and I like the formula. I'm saying, but like I'm not sure if I think that's the greatest thing. Like,
Right.
oh great, what reason do Microsoft or Sony have? And then we don't know if it's them two who are going to buy it, because it could be some other company that's looking to buy Ubisoft. But I don't know. I think that's a bummer to hear, because I think already dealing with Bethesda and Activision shit, which luckily doesn't affect me in the slightest. I think that's enough to be dealing with. I don't know if you guys have anything to think about that.
No, I don't care about Ubisoft.
No. Yeah.
They can go bye-bye.
True. Well, they make Assassin's Creed, and I like those games.
Meh. It was I played Valhalla and it was aight.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Though watching the Northman made me want to play Valhalla again.
I know, me too.
They almost called someone. It sounded like Aver. I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
And,
I will mention. Can I mention one Batman news thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's two little Batman. I'm a Batman guy. So Batman released on HBO Max and is doing pretty good numbers wise. It's like, I believe it's at 4.3 million households have watched the movie in the 1 week so far. So that's awesome. So I'm really hoping for a sequel. And then the other last little thing is they're also now considering putting Batgirl into theaters, which I actually would prefer. I didn't really love that it was going to be an HBO Max only release. So, yeah, I'm pumped. I hope that actually goes forward, because I want to see my boy Michael Keaton on the big screen as Batman as many times as I can.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would watch it in the theater for show.
Yeah, that suit they made for her
it's great.
perfection.
Yeah, it's really good.
So, and her mentor being Michael Keaton's Batman, it makes me even more excited. So I'm super stoked for that.
Very cool.
Go ahead.
And last story is just a shitty story. This Sony's basically planning on running ads in their games, and obviously Microsoft is looking at similar plans, because it's not like so Sony had a patent that someone found, which was that showed that they were looking for a long time now, looking how to integrate ads into their games. And it's fine. Obviously, ads are in games plenty all the time. When you play sports games, when you play driving games, there's ads all the fucking time. And that's fine. It's part of the experience. I get it. And, whether Sony did it, obviously Microsoft is going to come in and do it as well, because they're Coke and Pepsi, man. If Sony gets away with putting ads in their games, Microsoft isn't going to lose out on that kind of money. They're going to be like, yo, we're going to do it too.
It was like a couple days after that came out about Sony, it came out that Microsoft is also now considering it after hearing about it. And I was like, oh, well, yeah,
no. Of course, because Microsoft's not going to lose out on that kind of cash, because
they don't
whatever one of them, they actually don't. But I mean, more money is more money. Like they both do the same shit. Like Xbox had Xbox Live and was doing good. So PlayStation was like, boom, PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network, and the Xbox has Xbox Gold, or like PlayStation Network has PS Plus, then Xbox Gold, and PlayStation's like, well, let's make a streaming Netflix service. Let's make PS Now. Xbox sees PS Now and goes, fuck it, hold my controller, Game Pass. Like they're all gonna they're gonna do the same exact shit, because they know that they are a mirror product. It's literally Coke and Pepsi, Sprite and 7-Up. So if Xbox sees that the customers are accepting advertisements in their games, which we already get, but like in a different way, Xbox is going to be like, well, we can do it too. We have the same player base pretty much. I can see Nintendo being like, now we're straight. Now the problem is like, I get it that they would be using advertisements to bolster and for free to play games, service games, multiplayer games. I get that. That makes 100% sense. Like Sony has 10 live service games they're supposed to roll out in the next however many fucking years, and We haven't even got one yet. And I imagine some of these games are going to be either free to play or like live service games.
Yeah.
So I see that. The problem is like, when's that going to bleed into games that are full price already? Like where they're going to start chipping in advertisements into a game that was $60 fucking.
So
I don't know if you guys good.
Is this only going to be possible on like games that you have to stream to play though? Because like I can't see like Game Pass, you download the game file itself and play it. You can play offline or whatever.
Always online
because
DRM.
You know what I mean? Like
always online. Games that are always online. Some games
Yeah.
require you to be online no matter what. Like Gran Turismo 7, you can't play single player. You have to be connected to the internet no matter what. Like Street Fighter 5 needs to be online to fully function. Like if you want to play online, obviously. And like when you're playing online or even when you're just playing Street Fighter 5, some of the load screens will be like Capcom Pro Tour, go to capcom.com/fighters to register for this winter's tournament. And I mean that's pretty dope because you could like like you'll be playing Street Fighter 5 and it, like one of the load screens will be like register for Evo today and it'll have a link
right.
to this like something current. So that's kind of how you can put. That's how I can see it happening. Like that's how I see them integrating things because I see it happen in Street Fighter. Every time it's like Winterfest is happening, fighting game tournament. There's fucking registry links or advertisements on the load screens.
I guess if it's on specific types of games, like if I'm playing like an RPG or a really heavily like adventure story based type game, I don't want that shit on my load screens. But if I'm playing like Apex Legends and I'm like getting ready to be drop out of the ship and it's like a load screen in between us picking our characters,
or there's
and
like
jumping,
the Batman HBO Max billboard on the stage or some shit. I mean, because some games we've seen it. There were some games where there'd be like Coke or Pepsi vending machines in the game, or like look at Death Stranding had Monster Energy drink in it in the beginning, but after a while they took it out, replaced it with the generic. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, that was
they got to be tasteful.
Kojima was doing that game by himself without the support of like Sony or something for the first time. So the dude needed to try to King's got to get his bag, I guess is what they say.
Oh, God.
But
yeah, no, don't put ads in my fucking game. I paid you money. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, basically if they're free to play service games, I get it. But like, man, I gotta find one to send it to you. Like somebody it was like a really funny meme where it was like, it was Elden Ring, and it was like your character. There was somebody like you're just like somebody's just playing the game, and like a big dragon comes out and it goes to breathe fire, and it's like, come to Red Lobster for chips candy, and it was like perfect timing, like right when the dragon's fire was gonna hit. It was like a Red Lobster ad in the game, and so yeah, so that's really like where's this gonna go. I'm not sure if it was real or not. I remember Seth posted it because he had found it too. He posted the link. It was a patent that Sony had done, and but I don't know if it was. I can't say if it was 100% real or not. But I don't remember reading that it was fake. And I remember a lot of people seeing this patent and being like, "Man, if they do this is gonna suck." And it was basically that you'd be playing a game and let's say an advertisement would start that said McDonald's, you would physically need to say McDonald's to turn the ad off. So like imagine if like, we need to use the microphones on our controllers to accept, like say the keyword to finish the ad, you know what I mean?
Buying hard copies of games again.
Yeah, or what was the Northman, like, to get the fucking commercial to end. Yeah. Bounty, like fuck. So we have to just think, we have to think about how it's gonna get, man. It's just the future, and 5-7 years from now, there's gonna be some weird shit, you know what I mean, that we don't expect. So
I'll be playing PC only by then. So that'll be good. No.
Yeah, man. So who knows? And I think the only way to control stuff like that is eventually, now we complain about always online DRM, whatever, always online games. I think by the time the next consoles come out, it's going to be always online everything forever, because they're not going to want you to be able to turn on, and play some game by yourself for 1,000 hours without them getting some extra ad revenue on you. So we'll see.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Also, Sega's putting out another Sonic the Hedgehog collection for the fucking 30th time. They're reselling people Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles.
Hey man.
Sure. I mean,
it's still. I mean, if Skyrim can do it.
Here's what
I guess. And they did clean them up pretty nice this time, and there's like some little features, but like that already exists, man. It's called Sonic's Sega Genesis collection. But
here's what I here's what I think about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we have questions. We have a couple of questions. Put a thing up. I don't think there's many.
I saw one question and one comment. We have a question on Instagram from McLaren F1 V12. And that is, what is everyone's favorite band?
Deftones.
Jesse's been posting a lot of records, so I think that kind of naturally flourished.
I'm not. That's too
Here's
big of a question for me.
Here's
Go ahead, James. Aaron.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's Deftones for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that for you.
Do you know your answer, James?
So mine changes periodically, just because it's whoever like is like what connects to me best at the time. Not their newest record, and I guess the only band I could say that's both like the last time I said it was my favorite band was Beartooth. Their newest record is a little cringier for me. There's some good songs on there, but that's a little, I don't know. It's just they went a little bit of a different direction from what I personally like, and the writing and stuff. But they're probably still like my favorite go-to. Like that first record is incredible, and I have a lot of love for it and the lyrics and music of it. So yeah, I'll go Beartooth.
Word. Yeah, it's a little rough for me because there's so many, but I mean, like Radiohead is really possibly one of my favorite band, kind of, just because their overall works. But I mean, like, I don't know. As of now, my favorite artist is Ihsahn, Ihsahn, who is the frontman from Emperor, which is a black metal band from the 90s, but he makes like what I call contemporary black metal for adults. So I think Ihsahn is kind of my favorite artist right now. But I mean, there's just way too many bands to name. You know what I mean? Like Radiohead's an amazing band. The Deftones are fucking dope. I really used to be obsessed with Behemoth, but I think I fell off Behemoth a little bit.
I always say Deftones because they are consistent. Like I've liked every album, except for I don't love Adrenaline, and Gore was middling, but there's some fucking bangers on Gore, so it's like they just consistently give me good music. So
the Deftones are like that. I mean, I've been a Trivium fan since the early to like mid 2000 aughts, like early 2000s. And they're finally getting the recognition they deserve now. But yeah, that's a hard question for me to answer. But I'll say Ihsahn is one of my favorite artists. And Radiohead's an incredible, perfect band. And yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that's like a podcast episode for me. I could talk about that for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The older you get, the harder it is to nail down, right? Because like it's just so much music. All right, and then on our post, Ernesto said, "Hope you guys had a fantastic week gaming. Congrats to Aaron for completing Elden Ring achievements. Jesse, you're the man. Hope you're still loving Cyberpunk. And James, hope life is great. You three continue to be amazing people. Much love." So thank you, Ernesto.
Awesome.
Thanks, dude. Ernesto.
Wow, he's been posting some shredded up pictures. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm out here counting calories. You're out here counting abs, and you have multiple. I have one, okay? But you love to see it. You love to see it. Keep
him and Bone they can be our security service. The nerds Gang
I
Squad.
don't know how much I need, but I'll definitely take the assistance.
I told you about my dream I had, right, James, where I met you in person and you were like 2 feet tall. And you kept being mad that we were looking at you, that like you were short. You're like, what are you looking
I'm not
at?
like super tall or nothing, but
You were like, what are you looking at, huh? What are you, because I'm short?
That's so bizarre.
I was
that
like,
would be hilarious though.
just because I imagine you're just like a big dude, you know, like you look like you have a big ass
A pretty
beard.
big dude.
You know, yeah, you just look like you'd be a man, and then I just saw you, and you're like a child, with like your like full ass bearded head.
Did I still have the beard?
Yeah, you had the beard, and you were so aggro.
So strange.
But anyways,
That's awesome.
we love you guys. We're getting out of here in 2.5 hours. We did a short episode. This is a very short episode.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to take this opportunity to tell everybody a half an hour long story. Now,
Yeah, we're we'll be back streaming. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. Whenever you listen to this, will be Tuesday. I don't know what I'm gonna stream yet, but I'm gonna try and stream more often. I've been having some struggles.
yeah, I also need to. I should be streaming Thursday. I do want to remind anybody that's a listener that doesn't maybe stay attached to all our stuff, but we did put out a little bit of extra merch, a little different, a little simpler design. I'd appreciate if anybody has any ideas or thoughts or anything they want to see, let me know. We'll see what we can do with it. But yeah, there's some new merch. That's at streamlabs.com/nerdsthepodcast/merch, or you can go to our link tree at linktree/nerdsthepodcast. You'll have links to all that shit. And I have started to load the audio to YouTube as a video, more or less. So our podcast will also be available on YouTube if that is easier for anybody in any situation. Just keep that in mind. I need to keep checking on that because we did have a few comments on our first one already. And so, yeah, that was cool. Like, I'm glad we already have people listening on YouTube right away.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
It was neat.
Nice.
We've been putting that off because I'm lazy, and Jesse doesn't have all the files forever, so it's good. People have been asking, like, put it on YouTube. I can listen to it while I work or whatever, so.
Right. It sometimes is like me at work. It would be easier on YouTube because it's just like I can just pull it up and have my earbuds in my PC or at work, so I get that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely let us know any ideas you want for merch or anything you want to see us cover, talk about. We're all ears, motherfuckers. I did also notice, I just saw right now, I don't know if you guys are familiar, I think, Aaron, you might. The old Fallout style games, Shadowrun, the old ones, they're getting ported. The trilogy's getting ported. It comes out in June.
I have all the newer
Shadowrun.
ones that came out on PC a couple years ago, and they're all really good. I haven't beaten any of them, but I played like 10 to 15 hours in each. Like
Wait, which one? The ones, not the shooter ones, right? Remember they made first-person shooters out of it?
No, they did Shadowrun Reborn, and then there's like Shadowrun Hong Kong and something else, and they're top-down isometric turn-based strategy games.
Yeah, this one, it looks to be Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun Dragonfall.
Yeah, those are the newer ones. They're not the old ones. They're the newer. So they're getting
comprises 3. Okay.
Yeah, they're great though.
Meh.
They're great if anyone needs something to play.
Like cyberpunky RPG joints.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Nice.
Sweet.
Cool. So we'll be back in a week. We love you and your continued massaging of our prostates.
Hell yeah.
Take care of yourselves, guys.
Bye.